All right, and we are live, and let's start the show.
Viewer discretion advised.
Bad vibrations?
Not suitable for work.
Son of a bitch.
Warning, if you are highly sensitive, overly emotional, or easily triggered, do us all a favor and quietly tune out. No need ruining the good time of others simply because you are a beta or a bitch. Age of Men podcast with your co-host in crime, Nick and Julius. Initiate launch sequence.
All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate you guys for being here. God bless you all. Welcome back to another episode of the Age of Men podcast. It's going to be a great show tonight. Appreciate you all for being here. Do hit that like button. Do hit subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already, and comment below what you guys think about tonight's episode. I have to say, it was just so that intro, Darren, my friend Nick made that intro. And it never gets old, man. I love that intro. It's such a great intro, man. I love it. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, dude, that is like the best intro I've ever seen for a show. So it's so good, man. Every time I watch it, I just like smile and be like, man, that's such a great like intro. I love it, dude. So yeah, so we appreciate you guys for being here. I was supposed to have a few guests on tonight, but a couple of them couldn't make it. And as you guys know, Nick has changed. He's not Nick tonight. It's a new guy we have on the show. Nick couldn't make it tonight. He's on vacation. So shout out to Nick and be safe out there, man. Have fun. But we had a very, very special guest, a good friend of mine that I've known for quite some time. We met, I want to say, in 2020, right? In LA?
I think so, yeah, 2020.
Yeah. So if you want to tell the folks who you are, what you're all about, and yeah, right ahead.
Yeah, my name's Duran. I'm from Southern California, the San Bernardino area. Currently, I have a YouTube channel and Instagram page where I conduct street interviews. I'll go out onto the street, ask people questions, mainly to do with like relationships and things like that. And yeah, I'm excited to be here on the show. Let's get it in.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. What got you started into doing the street interviews and whatnot?
It was kind of like it was a random idea. Myself and my friends, we used to go out a lot. We still kind of do go out a little bit.
Yeah,
And at the end of the nights, we would kind of recap what went down, and we would have like a lot of the same questions about, oh, why did she act like this? Why is so and so, not feeling it, or why did her friend go with me instead of the other chick? It would
yeah,
just be like a huge discussion or whatever, and we would always have like repeating and similar questions. And so I figured, like, I go out enough, I might as well start documenting this stuff. I might as well bring out a camera and start asking people questions. Since I'm already out here anyways, I might as well do something with it. And
yeah.
so one day I'm in LA and I'm hanging out with my friend Chris. I'm like, Chris, I'm about to start a show and it's going to be called Ward on the Street. My last name's Ward. I'm like, the wordplay goes hand in hand. I have to do
Yeah,
this. I have to start Ward on the Street. So
yeah.
I
I
just
like
started
that.
doing it. Just brought out a camera and just started recording people. Simple as
Nice.
that.
Yeah. I remember I was watching your content too, because we were talking about this when we hung out, when we met. And I remember even you and I did the content back in 2020. We was asking people about the coronavirus and whatnot. Well, I don't want to say that word and get in trouble, but we were talking about that essentially. And we actually had a good footage that when we talked to those girls. we was asking them about, if they were like falsifying numbers and things like that. And she started mentioning that her friend worked in the hospital and they was like getting, falsifying numbers to get more money. And I was like, whoa, I was
Yep.
not expecting that from girls wearing a mask. I was
Yep.
like, I was not expecting that. I was like, wow, that's interesting. And I actually shared that video too, like on all over social media, and got some cool interactions. So it was cool, man. Yeah, so I remember watching your content, and I always thought your name was very clever. The word on the street, I was like, that's actually that's like a staple right there. Um,
Thank you.
I noticed that, like, you used to conduct like one-on-one interviews, and then you started doing. I mean, you still do, but you went more to like what do you call it? Like, rather than a sit down, you're like standing up and kind of like having kind of like small group conversations. What
Yeah.
what got you to like? Do you still want to do that, or what made you transition from that to what you're doing now?
I've always done both. It's just honestly, it's just hard to get people to do a one-on-one sit-down interview. Like I'll ask people and they'll say yes, and then when it's time to do it, they kind of like give me a soft no, or they'll kind of back out. It's just been harder to get a one-on-one sit-down. That's really what it comes down to. So a lot
Yeah,
of people they get kind of nervous or whatever, or they don't want to be on camera. So that's really all it's been. Also with work and everything, my schedule has been busier, so it's been harder for me to carve out time and try to get something scheduled with somebody. So that's pretty much all it is. I would love to continue doing that. I want to interview more entrepreneurs. My channel. I don't know if you've seen, but I interviewed my friend Leo's dad, who's from Peru. He opened up businesses in LA. I want to interview more artists as well. I do love, hip hop and things like that. So I interviewed rappers from LA. I got to interview like Easy Mo B, Lord Finesse, producers and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah,
I want to interview a lot of people. I got some crazy people in my family that I want to interview that have a very interesting life. So I've always been interested in documenting things. It's just hard to get people to sit down and actually do the interview. So yeah.
yeah. No, I know what you mean. I think when it's like, it seems like nowadays with like a more in person, it's a little harder. But when it's like over a stream, it's a lot easier. I noticed that because I got a chance to interview Anomaly, which is pretty dope. I was on his YouTube, he was on mine. Um, I reached out to like a couple of friends. My friend Angela Knight, I got her on. I think it's always easier to do the online stuff. It's as unfortunate as it is. It's easier to do it because they're in the comfort of their own home. They're not like out in person.
Right.
It might be a little weird. I don't know. I try to get those interviews too, like the ones where like we're in person, but then it's like, how do you do that? Because that's what I've always wanted to do when I do street interviews, like the way Steven Crowder would do like his table and kind of talk to people. I've always wanted to do that,
Yeah.
but man, it gets so hard. Like people are just maybe it's a California thing. I don't know, but
You might
they
have
do
to
not
go
want
to
to
a
talk to you.
college campus.
I know it might be a little easier. 'Cause I actually went to Sac City one time to do like a pro life, pro choice thing, and people did approach me, which was pretty cool. So I mean, it might be easier, but even when I see like James Klug, in California as well, when he's doing like street interviews, I
Uh,
could tell it's kind of hard for him too because like he has to walk up to people. He got a camera guy with him, so
yeah.
yeah, it's hard, dude. But I appreciate it. I was actually gonna play one of your videos, so people can see what you do. Me personally,
Okay.
I'll tell you this behind the scenes. I actually like the questions that you ask. I believe one of your videos went viral, if I'm not mistaken, because of the questions that you ask. I wanted to, especially this one right here, this most recent one. I wanted to play this one right here. I think I commented and I was like, "We're doomed" or something like that. I said something that
Yeah.
was like red flag or something. I'm always commenting on all your videos, dude, because they're very entertaining. So let me play this one right here. Hopefully it plays. Sometimes it'd be buffering, but hopefully it plays.
Okay.
Do you guys have a man?
No, he's what? The man? He's back there. He's behind you.
Let's say you guys had a man and he didn't like your outfit. He thought you were dressing too slutty and he wanted you to change. What would you tell him?
Sad. Yeah, too bad. So sad. Absolutely. He doesn't get a choice. We get to wear what we want to wear. Yeah. And if he doesn't like it, then he just doesn't fit our vibes.
Isn't he worth listening to a little bit?
No, never. Not when it comes to what we wear. No. Replaceable. Yeah.
What if he was the one? What if he's the one?
He's not. He's not. If he doesn't support us, he's not the one. He's not the one. We're leaving now.
Last question. Last question. Why is a father considered a good father if he, encourages his daughter to dress modestly, but a boyfriend is considered controlling if he encourages his girl to dress modestly?
You're asking the wrong people. I don't have a father. I don't have a father. We hate men.
There's a crisis in America today with fatherless kids.
Now say fatherless one more time. Cause you said fatherless. I don't know what the hell fatherless
is. That
do you guys have a?
So I know I got a little choppy there, but I like that because you're asking people essentially. You're saying that and I've seen you ask this question multiple times. I love it, man. But you're basically asking men and women that, if a woman has a boyfriend, you're like, what if he wants you to dress more modestly? Would you listen to him? And they're like, I don't know, no, or oh, he's insecure. And then you ask that follow-up question, which is a great question. You say, why is a dad considered a good dad when he asks his daughters to dress modestly, but a boyfriend is considered controlling who does the same thing? They're like,
right.
Ooh, that's a good question. So, and then I remember I saw one when she was like, "That's different. It's not your dad." I'm like, "It's the same thing." Like, what? It's bizarre, dude. What how'd you come up with that question to make that your niche?
Honestly, I don't know, bro. I think I was arguing with someone on TikTok, and I just kind of typed it to him, like, why is a dad considered to be a good dad for wanting his daughter to dress modestly with the boyfriend's control? I really don't know, man. I don't know how I came up with it. It just came to mind during an argument.
Yeah.
And, I figured, there's a lot of similarities between a boyfriend and a father. You know what I mean? Usually girls, they want to be with someone that's similar to their dad. So I thought it'd just go hand in hand. Why not ask it? Let's see what they have to say. And no one can really give me a solid answer. The best thing I've heard was because a daughter is a child, whereas, a girlfriend is an adult. That's like the only thing I've heard so far.
I mean, from what I hear from certain communities, red pill, if you will, that they always say sometimes you gotta talk to women like they're children.
Yes, bro.
So it's
crazy? I'm 32 and I barely just kind of realized that you kind of do have to talk to them like they're kids, bro. It's fucking crazy. I keep giving them too much respect. You really got to talk to them like a 10-year-old, dog. It's insane.
Yeah. It's bizarre. Hold on. Somebody's had a comment here. They said, Julius, I need to get your setups on 01 Men Party, doing your thing on the streets. I definitely need to know how you're doing your setup, and I can go do my interviews again. Oh, so okay. My boy Nick said, hot take. He was saying what you said was a hot take. Yeah, okay. So to answer Gabby's question, so for myself, I have a tripod. Matter of fact, do you know who that guy is? Ozaze from the Desirable Truth, the black dude who's always doing questions.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. Yep. He my friend Angela told me this, and I didn't realize it. I thought he had a camera guy too, but he actually has his own tripod. He has his tripod, and it's a distance away from him, and he'll go ask these questions. I think what he does is, when he edits it, he kind of zooms in a little bit, and then he does his own little cut. So that really inspired me.
Oh, that's fire.
That inspired me a lot because that's what I do. I have a tripod and I have my phone. I have sometimes if I go out at nighttime, I have my ring light with me, so it's better lighting. And what I do was I just get people to come in frame, and I just kind of ask them the point blank question and get their answer. I just screen record that. If I wanted to do the zoom in and things like that, I could easily do it. Just take a piece of that, zoom in, and do cuts like that. So there's always that, but I just kind of do it where if I could just ask somebody a point blank question, what do you think about this? And then get their answer and then do a follow-up and see what they say, then that's the clip right there. That's the money shot. So that's how I try to do it. Hold on, somebody said, should have had me on the show. Great topic. Oh, Yeah, real quick. So so Gabby says, should have had me on the show. Great topic. Um, yeah. So what we do now on this podcast, for the first hour, we talk to our guests. We talk about topics. For the second hour, we put the link to StreamYard. So if anybody wants to join in on the topic, you're more than welcome to. Um, if you want to not be on camera, you can not be on camera. That's fine. You can just do audio. I prefer on camera, but I'll let it slide. So if anybody wants to join tonight's topic, hop on. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. As long as we can hear you, then it's all good. Um, but yeah, so back to what I was saying. But yeah, so real quick to finish off what I was saying about the tripod thing. That's what I do. I just have a tripod and I have a little connector piece to it. And I just put my phone there and set it up to where it's a good distance from the tripod and myself. So I can have myself and the person in frame so I can ask them questions. The microphone I use is called Lavender. I think it's called something else, but on the little brand it's like Lavender or something like that, or something like that. But I use that microphone, and it's a great microphone. It's wind resistance. It's very small. It's the one you clip on your shirt, but it's a
Okay.
great phone. Yeah, it's such a good microphone, dude. I wish I had the one like you had, because I was always trying to find the Rode, because Rode is so good, such a good brand. But man, they're very costly. They're like up to $200 or something like that. So
Yeah, I paid 300 for my setup.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's cheap, but it's still expensive. Didn't mean like it's not
Yeah,
that much, but it's a lot. So,
it's a nice chunk of
um,
change.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the one I use, see, fortunately for me, I was given that microphone, and so I've been using that ever since, and it's helped out a lot, dude. I love that microphone. The one I use, the little small one that clips on your shirt, I love using that one because you can hear
Yeah.
everything. Like it's so good. Um, but anyways, uh do you often find it difficult to like approach people when you do your street interviews, or does it come a lot easier for you?
I mean, I have no problem approaching people, but not, I would say majority of people turn it down. Like when I
Yeah,
ask them, hey, you want to do a quick interview? I need your expert opinion. A lot of them will say no. Sometimes I feel like if I had a cameraman, I can just kind of press them more and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And just automatically go into it. I don't want
I
to
think the
ask them, do
same
you want to
thing.
do an interview? I just rather just go up to them and just hop right into it. But
Yeah,
I don't,
same
yeah.
here, dude. That's crazy. I think the same thing. I'm like, if I had a camera guy, it's so easy to walk around and be like, what do you guys think about this? And you can,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I don't
it's
want to walk around with a camera in my hand. Like, what do you think about this? And I put a
I
camera
know,
right
because
in their
it
face.
looks hella creepy. You're like,
Yeah,
you want to talk to me?
yeah,
It's like, yeah, it's so I do. I can't. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, it's so hard to walk around and be like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? Like sometimes it depends. If I have my smaller tripod, my little smaller one, I'll walk around and maybe do that, but it's still kind of weird because I'm just recording. It's like when people see somebody with you, it's weird how the mind works. If they see a person with you, it almost looks like a film production crew. But when it's
exactly.
just you know what I mean, when it's just you by yourself, they're like, why is this guy recording me? Like, what's this for? You know, it becomes very, very weird, man. It sucks, bro. Like that's how it is for us, freelancers out here. It's hard out
Yeah,
here,
man.
man. I don't understand
And
that.
like a super bonus is having a girl cameraman. Like I would take my
Yeah,
girl with me sometimes, and now
yeah,
everyone's extra comfortable and extra friendly.
yeah. I know, dude. It sucks, but it's like you gotta play it like that sometimes because then it's like, okay, here's a man, here's a woman. They're working as a team. Okay, I'll talk to the person because there is a woman there. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It's so
it's funny
crazy,
how
man.
that works.
I know it's so bizarre. So with your interviews, how many do you think you have conducted up until now?
Like the amount of people I spoke to, or the amount of days I went out, or
Yeah, the amount of people like what you've been doing, like what you've been doing now, the content that you do now. How many have you spoken to so far?
oh, that's a good question, bro. Probably like at least like I want to say at least 200 people. There has to be at least
Nice.
200. Yeah.
Okay. I asked that because I was curious. Of those 200, like, do you see, since you've been doing the question that you've been doing, do you see a pattern with, because the question that you asked, a specific one about the modest, to dress modestly, do you see a pattern amongst like women who kind of lean more towards the feminist ideology, like my body, my choice, or like what have you noticed within that?
No, yeah. Overall, women, they feel like a guy shouldn't tell them anything. Like if they have a boyfriend or a man or a husband, whatever, they feel like the guy shouldn't tell them anything. And if the guy does try to tell them something, it's almost like a violation to the woman somehow. And then the woman
Mm,
feels like their ego needs to get involved to show that they're not being controlled by anybody. And so they're gonna just disobey out of spite, just to prove a point. It is
mm,
it's That's the overall thing. Every now and then there will be like, I would say 3% of the female population that is like, oh yeah, I'll listen to my man. If he tells me to change, cool, I'll change. If he wants to buy
yeah,
me the outfit to change into, I'll wear it. But that's like a
yeah.
very small minority. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'll play devil's advocate real quick. Do you do you think that men are in the right when they're dating a woman, like somebody that they want to be long term with? Do you think that men are in the right to have an opinion and say, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable with you wearing that," or do you think like it really just doesn't matter because we're such in the modern era that if a man is confident, he shouldn't have to be worried about how his woman dresses. Do you see it as a man should be confident because if that's his girl and she loves him or likes him, she's going to be committed to him? Or do you think a man should say something because his girlfriend reflects him?
Yeah, I think overall it comes down to the guy. Each guy's gonna have their own preference. But my thing is, whatever the reason is for the guy wanting his girl to change or whatever his reasoning is, I feel like he should speak up, state what you want. And the girl, if the girl really respects her man, she's gonna listen. She's not gonna just disobey for the sake of disobeying.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I think as a man, don't be afraid to state what you want. And you're going to know in that moment if this woman is the right one for you. Because if you want someone that listens to you and respects your opinion and respects your guidance and respects what you want the program to be, then you're going to know right then and there if that woman's going to fit with you. So that's
Yeah.
how I see it.
Do you think that? Because I'm playing devil's advocate, so I can have a more nuanced conversation about this. Do you think that a man should be confident? Like, do you think he shouldn't be? Do you think it's insecure for a man to voice his opinion? Because again, like, should he be so confident where he's like, you know what, I like this girl. She dresses sexy. That's totally fine because at the end of the day, she's with me. Or do you find that to be a little bit more, um, you know, metaphorically speaking, soft on crime? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you find it kind of more like the man being kind of soft on the fact that he's allowing this girl to do that because he's too scared to say something? Or, should he just be confident and say, hey, it's all good because she likes me and, it is what it is?
Yeah, the way I see it, if he doesn't say anything because he's afraid that he's gonna lose his girl or afraid that she's gonna like snap at him, then he's being soft. He's being weak. But if he's not saying anything because he truly doesn't care and he's cool with whatever she wants to wear, then he's just that's him. That's his shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just see it as like if like for example, let's say a guy wants his girl to change because he may not want a certain image to reflect her and him. If his girl's dressed like a slut and they're going to Sunday brunch and she's looking crazy, it's going to be a bad look for him and her, and they're just going to look bad as a unit. So,
Yeah.
and the girl, she might be used to wearing skimpy shit, so she's not thinking about that. But the guy who is around, more, he grew up around more modest women. He's looking at her like, why are you dressing like a hooker right now? You're going to make us look bad. Go change. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think it all depends on what his reasoning is for wanting her to change. Some guys
What do you,
don't care about the look. Some guys don't care about how it's being perceived. Some guys want the girl to change because maybe they're going to some grimy bar or whatever, and they don't want any more. He doesn't want any attention drawn to her because it might cause problems. He might have to get into a fight with 5 dudes, and now it's an issue. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, and just real quick, just to touch on that, I know I'm playing devil's advocate, but I want to touch on that. I noticed that too because I don't really think I don't know if it's controversial to say, but I don't think it's fair for a man, 'cause I know we're supposed to protect, provide, and lead, but is it really fair to put the man in a position where she's dressed in a certain way only for dudes to try to approach that because of what she's showing, and now he has to fight them off all because of her decision? So is it really fair to put a man in that position to be like, well, he shouldn't be insecure. He's with me, I'm with him. But if now they go to a bar and guys are like, yo, what's up? Oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, for real, for real. And now he has to step in. As you said, the bar fight happens. So is
Yeah.
that really fair that he's put in that position?
It's not fair at all. It's not fair at all. Like, what she is wearing is sending a certain message. So let's say they're at the bar. He's like, hey, babe, wait right here. I got to go to the bathroom. If she's wearing like, I don't know, like a crop top and like fishnets and heels, like her outfit is saying, I'm available. I'm on the market. I look sexy. I know you're looking. Come talk to me. That's what her dress code is. That's the message that's being sent. And so, yeah, guys are now going to approach. And now you got to step in like, hey, dog, that's my girl. I need you to back off. You know what I mean? Like, you're causing more problems. You're causing
Yeah.
unnecessary problems and interaction for no reason. And if you're
Yeah.
doing it just to do it, that's not cool. So,
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, that's why that's one thing that we try to do in this podcast. We try to talk about the differences between male and female, and not just so much about what women want and what men want, but the positions that we get put in. You know what I mean? And that's where we try to draw the dynamics at, because again, we want to protect the women that we're with, but is it worth it if she says, "Well, I'm going to dress like this"? So if I'm out and about, you shouldn't have to worry about me because I'm with you at the end of the day. But you might be with me, but you got other guys that want to look at you too. So
yeah,
now, rather than us enjoying the time, I have to look around every single guy. Like it's almost like he can't enjoy himself now because he's constantly worried about her, which then makes him look insecure. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like almost like
exactly.
we're set up to fail. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
It's bizarre, dude. But
The way I
this,
see it, it's like if a girl wants protection from her boyfriend, in my eyes, if you want to be protected, that does require a certain level of submission. You know what I mean? You can't be totally independent and expect someone to protect you. At some point, you're going to have to listen to what they're telling you in order for them to effectively and fully be able to be in position to protect you. That's how I see it.
yeah. No, I agree with you, man. It's a great point. Um, so let me segue here to Logan Paul and his wife Nina. Do you know like much about that, or have you kept up with that or, at all?
I've heard, like, on certain podcasts, I would hear briefly that his wife is recently being exposed as a thought.
A 304, as they say.
Yeah, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't looked at the pictures or anything like that, but I do vaguely know what you're referring to. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those at home who are watching, Logan Paul is a social media influencer. Uh, been around for I would say at least over a decade by now, and I would say the last several years he's been doing. Him and his brother have been doing. What is it? MMA. I think it is, or boxing, whatever the case.
Boxing.
Yeah. So they've been doing the boxing stuff, and now with Logan Paul, he got with this girl and her name is Nina. I think it's like Nina Adal. Agdal. I can't pronounce her last name. It's like Agdal. Agdal. But so he recently got. I think he got engaged. I don't know if he's married to her, but I think he's engaged. And from what I understand is that when he got with her, uh, she wanted to wait to have sex, and he commended her for that. But because him and this guy have been kind of trash talking to each other, Dylan, what's his name? Dylan something. Hold on, I just saw his name. Let me see. Dylan Dennis. Dennis, yeah, Dylan Dennis. So him and Dylan Dennis is also another person. He's jiu-jitsu world champion. He also does boxing and MMA as well. And him and Logan have been going back and forth. They may fight. I don't know. I would love to see that fight when it happens. But they've been kind of trash talking each other back and forth. And so because Logan got with this girl Nina, um, he's been exposing her, as you said, as a thought, right? So she's had a couple of ex-boyfriends, and I wanted to kind of bring this up, to kind of share this, her previous boyfriends. This is an article from wegotThiscovered.com, and I thought this was very interesting. Let me see if I can do this. So this is a website called wegotThiscovered.com, and it says, "What is Nina Agdal's?" I cannot pronounce that. Agdal. Maybe the G is silent, so it's like Adals. I don't know. I'm not sure,
I
but
don't know, bro.
yeah, I know. I'm not sure. She might be like European or something. Um, but this is a website that has, I guess, the previous men that she's been seeing. Because you see right here in the subtext, it says, "Get to know all of Nina's former partners before she met Logan Paul." Now, the reason why I bring this up is because, again, the topic of tonight is, does a person's past matter? And this kind of goes along the lines of like, does body count matter? But that question is such a, I call it an age old question at this time. It's so like everybody asking that question. So I figure I change it up and reword it and basically say, does a person's past matter? I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. So Logan Paul gets married to this woman, and this website has all of her previous boyfriends. And I guess it shows this guy, Dan Bazilian, but I can't even pronounce that last name. Dan
Bulgarian?
Bazarian. Yeah, Bazarian.
Bulgarian? I
Uh,
don't know.
yeah, it says here, Paul isn't the first internet celebrity Nina dated. Her first relationship was with Armenian American poker player and influencer Dan Bazarian, who once competed in the World Series of Poker main event in 2008. Unfortunately, it is unknown when or how long the two dated or how they broke up. They also have Adam Levine from Maroon 5, which is interesting. They did back in 2013. She was apparently with this guy, Max George. That's already three men right there. Leonardo DiCaprio, there's been pictures of her and him, when they were dating. Um, and then let me see. Jack Brinkley Cook. This is like guy number 5. They did it back in 2017. And then on to Logan Paul. So it looks like she's had, from what this article says, at least 5 other guys prior to Logan Paul. Now, the reason why I bring this topic up is because I've always been curious about when it comes to men's standard. And here's why I also bring this up. I want to pull this up real quick before we start diving into this. So, do you know who Adam 22 is?
Yeah, I'm very
Yeah. See,
familiar.
okay. Yeah. You heard about his story about, him getting married to that porn star, essentially, Alana. I forget what her last name is. But she goes by Alana the Plug.
Yeah.
And he hired like the black porn star to basically have sex with his wife. Like after he got married, like a month or two afterwards, he hired a black guy to basically have sex with his wife. Um, I think that's so bizarre, and I know that they do the whole, I guess, like swinging, I guess, if you will. Uh, Nonetheless, I think that's just in my opinion, can be very blunt. I think it's disgusting to get married to a woman and allow another man to just have sex with her. I don't know, dude. I couldn't do that. I couldn't live with that. I think that's like very cuckish of a man to do. That's not even a man. That is a boy at that point. It's so bizarre, but I digress. But he had this tweet, and this kind of ties into what we're talking about. He had this tweet where I'll read this right here and put this up on the screen real quick. My friend Nick said he black. Jesse Peterson, he black.
Wait, is that the
So
same Nick from Jesse Lee Peterson?
No.
Oh, different Nick.
Yeah. My homie Nick, my partner in crime, my brother from another mother. So Adam 22 had this tweet right here. He said, if I was a woman and I went on a date and the guy asked me what my body count was, I would laugh in their face and leave. Any dude who asks you this, especially early on, is an insecure effing weirdo. And I thought that was pretty interesting to me because my response was, at least what I wrote, I said, shouldn't men know what they're getting into before it's too late? I guess somebody had a quote to this. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to check this now. Like, who quoted me? I guess somebody's response was, bro, you're at a high school, ask big boy questions, not what your body count, not what's your body count like an insecure effing child. If you suck at sex, then being a virgin won't save you. Interesting stuff. Interesting response. Here's what I have to say to that. This is the reason why I asked the question: does a person's past matter in relationship? Not somebody's past like if the guy went to jail, nothing like that, nothing crazy. But does a person's past matter? My thing is this: there's nothing wrong with a man who has standards, and I think in today's time, especially with men looking like women to the point where you can't even tell if that's a man or not. I think a man should know something about the woman, and that includes, what her past relationship was. Maybe not saying like what's your body count, but if ask, have you had previous relationship? And she's like, yeah, I had a couple of boyfriends in the past. You kind of like, do I keep going with this relationship, or do I just say, well, you know what? Listen, maybe I don't want to deal with this. I like you, but I'm not really into women who've had a lot of sexual significant others. You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. But it seems like men nowadays came and asked that because we're called insecure, just for trying to make sure that we're not going to get ourselves into something. Because if she had a body count, and let's say there's a girl talking to you, and then all of a sudden you find out that she still has this guy kind of like off to the side, but she's talking to you because this is the guy that she's been sleeping with. They didn't talk for like a couple of weeks or a month, and now she's on to you, and you're like, oh, I like this girl, but then you find out, oh, she's still texting her F buddy. So shouldn't we as men, like, is it
Had
really
that happen.
wrong? Yeah, is it really wrong to know what her past was in order for us to, move on with our future?
No, I don't think it's wrong at all. You know, now to the short answer, does the past matter? The short answer ultimately is no. The only thing that matters is the moment, right? Now, the thing about the past is you can use it as a gauge to see where you're going to be going in the future. Um, so if you're thinking about long-term marriage with somebody, obviously you want to get to know what their character is, where their honor and integrity lies as a woman. And so it's like, shoot, she might have had 100 dudes before you, but now let's say she meets you and I don't know, she just head over heels in love for you and she's down for whatever you want to do. It could change. Now, the odds of that happening, given her past, statistically probably low. And so you're going to use her past to determine how serious you want to take her in the future. So it's like, it's this weird dynamic of like, the ultimate answer is no, the past doesn't matter. But at the same time, you can use it as a gauge for what's going to happen. So
Interesting.
that's how I see it. That's how I see it, man.
I would have to slightly disagree and say that I think it does matter. And matter of fact, I'm gonna pull this I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I found this article. This comes from the utah.edu. Let me see if I can pull this up. And I thought this was called premarital sex and divorce. Now I know they're talking about divorce, but I thought the first few paragraphs are very interesting. This article was written back in July 16th. Again, this comes from the University of Utah. It says premarital sex and divorce. New research from University of Utah researcher Nicholas H. Wolfinger explores counterintuitive trends in the link between premarital sex and marital stability. So I kind of want to read these first couple of paragraphs. I thought was very interesting to me. Uh, oops, hold on. It says it's been established that having multiple sex partners prior to marriage sometimes leads to less happy marriages and increases the odds of divorce. But sexual attitudes and behavior continue to change in America, and some of the strongest predicators of divorce in years gone by no longer matter as much as they once did. According to a new research by Nicholas H. Wolfinger, a professor in the University of Utah Department of Family and Consumer Studies and adjunct professor of the Department of Psychology. In a new research published online on the Institute for Family Studies blog, Wolfinger identified several interesting trends. Divorce rates have fallen for the shrinking percent of American women who marry as virgins and stayed essentially the same for those with one or two premarital sex partners. Divorce rates went up the most for women with 10 plus sexual partners before marriage. But the surprising thing Wolfinger said is that women with exactly two premarital sex partners have consistently higher divorce rates than women with 3 to 9 partners. In short, if you're going to have comparisons to your future husband, it's best to have more than one, said Wolfinger. He added that the sexual behavior has changed throughout recent decades. Um, and so there's this chart right here where it talks about the percentage of divorce rates from 1970 to 2010s. And so from 1970, you can see with 0 partners. I think, let me see if I can read this correctly. It says also noteworthy is the decline of proportion of women who get married and only have one sexual partner. As late as the 1980s, over half of new brides were virgins or had only one sex partner. This was true
Wow.
with just 28% of women by the 2010s. So it looks like in the 1970s, it's like 21%, and then it drops down to 5% with 0 partners. With one partner, it went from 43% to 22%. Two partners, 16% to 12%, not that far down, but it did drop. And then you start to see with 3 partners, it's 8% up to 11%. 4 to 5 partners, 6% to 18%, 6 to 9, 4% to 14% by the 2010s, and then 10 plus partners, 2% to 18%. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because I know they're talking about divorce, but what I'm saying is that I think to me, the past does matter because I think you want to know who you're getting yourself involved with. If you're talking to a woman, yeah, you can maybe utilize her past to kind of, dictate the present ongoing to the future. But if I'm talking to a woman and I like her and then we go on a date and then somehow, some way it pops up, she starts talking about this guy and this guy and all this sex. In my mind, I'm just like, I'm a little bit grossed out because now,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And there's something within us men. This may sound like a rhetoric, but there's something in us men where we get this like butterfly feeling, this gross butterfly feeling of a woman who slept with another man, even if it's just one person before me. Who knows what they could have done? And now I got like that's in my brain now. And I just kind of feel a little bit off by the woman I'm with now. I'm like, man, she's had sex with this guy. I don't know how I feel about that. Even if it's like multiple guys, you're like, I don't know how I feel about that. And yeah, it's maybe head over heels for you because you're a new guy. This is better than her last relationship. But was that not the same thing for the last guy before you? She was head over heels for him. So it's kind of like this red flag of her repeating the same thing. It's like insanity. She's doing the same thing, expecting different results. And now you're the guy that has to be involved in that because you chose to go on a date with her, and now you find out, wow, she's had sex with this guy, and she told me she did this with this guy. She gave a blowjob to this guy. now you're like, do I
Right.
really want to keep talking to her? And for the men who are like having sex with this woman, they may stay because not a lot of men are getting sex at all. They say 1 in 3 men are not having sex, or they're incels, involuntary celibate. So when a man does have sex with a woman, I don't encourage it, but for the men who are doing that, to him, she's like the best thing since sliced bread. So now he's like, do I leave or do I stay? He'll stay because, well, I'm getting sex from her. I don't want to ruin that. So he'll
Yeah.
put up with the fact that she has this insane past just so he can have short term pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I would say it comes down to, like you said, you use the word gross. And yeah, it is kind of gross. If someone has a large sexual past, it is gross and it grosses you out. And you have these images in your mind. Now, let's say you're the type of person, you're not even that, those thoughts don't even enter your mind. Now, what is it gross anymore? Like, if the way I see it, if you're a guy and you don't think about that stuff, then it's not going to affect you. You know what I mean? But if you are someone that you can't help it, those images come into your mind, then it is going to affect you. And this shit ain't going to work for you. Her past does matter in that instance.
Sure. Okay. But don't you think that even if you don't think about it, you're still thinking about it?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Because she tells you, right? Because she tells you now it's on your mind, but now you're trying to block it out. So you're thinking about it without thinking about it because you're trying to block it. Like you're thinking about it, but you're trying to block it out because it's on your mind, but now you're forcing yourself to block it out after what she just told you.
I mean, she could tell you, and it might have went in one ear out the other. You know what I mean? You
Okay.
might have not even stored it in your memory bank. I don't know.
But now
Me
you know
personally,
though.
I wouldn't want someone with a large past because I wouldn't be able to get it out of my mind. I wouldn't be able
You see
to.
what I'm saying? So it is in your mind. You
I
know
would
what I
have
mean?
to lay my head down at night knowing what transpired with her, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just too much, bro. I couldn't do it. Like the most blatant example of that is like Kanye West. This is a
Mm,
smart dude overall. He's pretty smart, but yet he chose to marry someone like Kim Kardashian. That's crazy to me. This is
yeah.
someone that's
Yeah.
like globally known for doming Ray J on on
Yeah.
camera. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
got so bad to the point where at one of his concerts, someone made a gigantic flag of that image of Kim Kardashian doing what she did
No
with Ray J.
way.
Yeah, and they're just
No
waving this
way.
gigantic flag of that. And I'm just like, bro, I couldn't handle
What?
that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh
And that's why I
man,
wouldn't
that's
marry
so.
someone like that. I wouldn't, yeah. I
But
want my
see,
resume to be relatively clean. You know what I mean?
but see, this is the reason why I think the past does matter because it's
Okay.
always going to catch up to your present and it's going to forever stay there to your future. You can never escape your past, especially with something like that. Like
Right.
even matter of fact, look to even making a comparison. Look at American history. We are in 2023, but yet somehow Black people are still talking about slavery, even though we haven't been slaves,
Ooh.
like we haven't been like like slaves the way it was back in the day. We haven't been that for a long time, and yet we
Right.
still bring it up. So that's the same thing with a woman's past. It's always gonna be there. Do you know what I
One
mean?
second, I'm gonna grab my chair real quick.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So for those of you guys who are watching, let me know what you guys think about the conversation so far, and do hit that like button and share this out. I think this is a fantastic conversation. So share this out on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys tag my name and tag C3 Nick, and we will share it on our social medias. So back to what I was saying. I think in comparison, again, it's the same thing as Black people who bring up slavery happened a long time ago, but they still bring it up as if they're still dealing with, emotional trauma for some strange reason. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, it's the same thing with women. That if she has a past like that and she's slept with a lot of dudes, and you say, well, she could be head over heels for you, cool, but that past is still there and it's always going to be there. I mean, you mentioned Kim Kardashian. Even in today's time, they're waving a big giant flag of her and Ray J. It still catches up to her even to the day, and it's always going to be there to the day she dies.
Yeah, and so like going back to that example, like maybe Kanye sees that and it doesn't phase him. I don't know. Maybe it eats at him. I'm not sure. If you can handle it, you can handle it. But using Kim Kardashian, it's like you've seen what she did to him now. She divorced him, left him, put him on child support, and is letting their daughter go on TikTok to do like, I don't know, little sexual dances or whatever. And so that's
Yeah.
an example of like you could have gauged her past of being a whore and seen that, okay, she's probably gonna it's in her spirit to be able to divorce you and destroy her daughter's spirit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
use one to correlate to the other. So
And also too, she ended up moving on with Pete Davidson, and she even said on camera she only talked to him to find out if he had BDE, big D energy. So it's like, what does that say about her? You know what I mean? Like, what does that say? Somebody had a comment. I only read this comment. It said, if she's willing to be completely honest with you, then why would you hold that against her, though? See, and therein lies my point. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Why is it that when a man has standards, we can never have them? Oh, why would you hold it against her? Because I want to make sure that I have a woman who's going to raise my children. That's why I'm thinking about the future, not about right now. See, this is the problem with society, with today's society, with the hookup culture and whatnot. We no longer vet people anymore. We no longer get to know people that we want to spend the rest of our life with. Instead, we get to know people enough to spend the rest of our night with. And that's the problem.
good point. Good point. Good
So
point.
this is the reason why I say, I think the past does matter of fact, one of the biggest reasons why I'm a huge advocate right now for virginity and for men and women to wait until marriage. I had this discussion on Discord last night, and there's a disagreement of the fact that men and women shouldn't be virgins until marriage. I think because people saw the word marriage and thought marriage was a scam because through the government, it is. It incentivizes women to get alimony, child support, things like that. At least in my opinion. They say that I heard a woman yesterday said that marriage benefits men. I don't really think it does. I think it benefits women, in my opinion. But aside from being married through the government, yeah, it's a scam. But married to the church, I don't think that's a bad thing if the church is good, not corrupt. My point
Yeah.
is that I think preserving our bodies for the right person is so much more better for society because the person who disagreed last night was talking about like population control. I don't think it is because we should be able to have multiple kids with the women that we're with. If we're gonna have multiple kids with multiple women, like Nick Cannon's doing, and I don't think he's married to all of them, that can be an issue because he's not married to all of them. So he's having kids out of wedlock. And he might be like, I don't know if he's even officially with all these women. I have no idea. But I just know he's popping out kids with different women, and I don't think he's married to them. So now all these kids have different moms, but maybe same dad. But I just don't think that's right. Unless he's married to them and he says up front, I want multiple women, then that's his thing. But if he's just going around just having sex with women and popping them out a bunch of kids, in like 20, 30 years, part of the population is gonna be a bunch of Nick Cannons running around. You know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna be a weird population to see a lot of Nick Cannons. But to keep going with that question of if she's honest with you, then why would you hold it against her? It's not so much holding it against her, it's protecting yourself as a man. Like, if we're supposed to be protectors, why can't we as men protect ourselves? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we're supposed to
Yeah.
protect the women, children, no, men, women, children, but yet we should be protecting ourselves as well. I think part of that protection is not allowing us to be destroyed by the woman's past and just accepting it all because she's a woman. Like, yeah, she's honest with me and saying, hey, I've had this many men, I've had multiple boyfriends, and I'm supposed to go, okay, well, I just accept it because you're a woman. No, 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 no. I appreciate your honesty, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is going to work out. I don't want to be with a woman who's had a lot of men. I'd rather be with a woman who's a virgin and I'm a virgin, or whatever the case may be. Or even if a man did have sex with one woman and she has sex with one man, and he's okay with that because one person, they realize their mistake, fine. But a lot of women having a lot of sexual, men or sexual partners, as they say, I think for a man, we should be like, you know what? I appreciate the honesty, but I'm going to decline this moving forward. I like you. I just don't think it's going to work out. And to me, I think that takes a lot more power for a man to do. And he's stand up for his principles and not just simping because, well, hey, this is the best I can get, so I might as well put up with what she did before.
Yeah, and I think women don't realize that men, we're the ones that we got to take the risk. If we're marrying you and it doesn't work out, we're going to be hit hard, and we're the ones that are really gonna. We're taking the upfront gamble with everything. I'll compare it to, like, let's say you're a business owner and you own like a liquor store or something like that, and you're looking for someone to come in and be a cash, what's it called, cash register person or whatever, the clerk, whatever.
Cashier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're trying to find someone to be a cashier, and you interview them and you ask them, so you ever stole money before? And he's like, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I used to. I've stole a couple times, but I'm a changed man. I promise you. And who knows? He might have really been a changed man. He might have never stolen anything for the past 5 years. Who knows? But I'm not gonna find out. I'm not gonna be the
Yeah.
one to experiment with you and give you a chance. I appreciate your honesty, buddy, but you got a history of stealing shit, can't do it. I'm on to the next one. That's how I see it.
Yeah. That's a great point, dude. That is a fantastic point. And that's so true because if you go to a job and, like, for example, when they ask you why'd you get fired, and then you're honest with them and why you got fired, they're like, okay, well, we'll give you a call. And then they
Yeah,
never call you. So it's
yeah,
like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have been too honest. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that women should lie or men should lie, even though I think men do lie to get in the women's pants. They do all the time. Oh, yeah, you want to wait until marriage? Me too. And then all of a sudden, the second date, they're like, come on, just touch it. You know what I mean? So it's like he's clearly lying. Like,
Facts.
men lie to get in women's pants, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I want to respond to this comment here by Gabby. Gabby's a good friend of mine too. She said the thing is, what you're saying is, if you meet a girl and she's not a virgin or has had more than two partners, you're not going to give her a chance because clearly you can't get that image out of your head. Well, but I, my point, my point still stands. Men have standards. Even if we said two is a lot, that should be for us. Now, realistically, we might not be able to find that woman because of our high standards, but it's the same thing with a woman. If she has high standards for 6 feet, six pack, six figures, she may not find that guy. So she may have to lower her standards to really be satisfied in what she wants. Same thing with the man. He may not find that perfect virgin, but he's gonna have to find a woman that's at least close to pure as possible. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we should be to me, there's nothing wrong again with vetting people, and that's the problem. It's like we just accept things, and men, we're supposed to just accept it because she's a woman. Like, oh, if she's honest and she had two partners, you won't give her a chance. But why should I? What makes her worthy of giving me, of me giving her a chance? She has to
Yeah.
prove that. To me, like, I used to have this, not used to, but I had this analogy that I recently made. I said, I see women's bodies as Thor's hammer. Thor's the only one that can wield that hammer. So that's how women's bodies should be. Only one man should be worthy enough to wield that hammer. You know what I mean? Men don't want a hammer that nails a bunch of stuff. They don't want a rusty hammer. You know what I mean? We want to be the one that wields and worthy for that one hammer. So,
Right.
um, yeah, Gabby said, Jules, let's get on. No, yeah, guys, come on. She said, Jules, let's get on. Guys, come on. You don't have to be on camera. Join the conversation. We'd love to have this and see what you guys think. Come on, man. We want to have this
Let's get it.
conversation. I think it's a great conversation to be having. But yeah, so that's where I stand. That's why I think a path does matter. Because again, somebody like Logan, right? His wife has clearly been with I won't say a lot of men, but she clearly has been with quite a few men, and now he's married to her. And what's interesting too is that, again, I don't condone sex necessarily. I don't condone it. I think men and women should be virgins until marriage. But from what I understand, I saw this in a interview. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look this up on YouTube. I think Logan said that she made him wait until married, until they got married to have sex.
Made him wait.
Yeah. And I find that interesting to me because with the other guys,
That's so
I don't think she
disrespectful.
made Yeah, I don't think she made Leo wait. Now, I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying that if she's making him wait and then she didn't make Leo wait or the other two guys wait and he made her wait, what does that say about him? Like he's now mind you, I don't mind if a woman, because women have been lied to. They've been lied to about the sexual revolution, the feminism, right? The sexual revolution told women that they can basically have sex like men, that it's empowering to just have sex with whoever and with no consequences, right? If you get pregnant, go have an abortion. That's been the lie to women. So if a woman did believe in that and she was having sex with lots of men, and then like let's say she's 28 years old and let's say she's had 8 boyfriends, 28 years old, 8 guys, and she realized this is wrong. I don't want to do this. I've been lied to about feminism. I've been lied to about the sexual revolution. I've been lied to about this whole bull crap, being empowered, independent. I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm going to practice abstinence. And let's say, she's now 32. It's been 4 years. No boyfriend, no kissing, no nothing like that. She's getting closer to God. And then she meets a guy and she's honest and says, I've had 8 boyfriends, in the past. But it's been 4 years since I've had a boyfriend. I haven't kissed, hugged, nothing like that. I've been doing me. And she's honest with the guy like that. To me, I don't mind that because she's working on herself. She's not going to be that 304. She's waiting for a year. She hasn't done nothing. That's fine. But it's still up to the guy whether or not he wants to choose that. If he's okay with that and he realizes, she's been abstinent, I get that. I'll give her a try. She hasn't done anything. I'm willing to wait until marriage, and all that kind of stuff because he's either celibate or he's a virgin, and he's like, I'll wait till marriage. I want to do that and get to know her. That's fine. But again, it's up to him to make that choice. You can choose, or he can say, I'm glad you're honest. I know you haven't had any guys for 4 years. We had 8 boyfriends. I think I'm good. And that should be fine too. Nothing wrong with that. That's just not the guy for her. And we have to come to accept that for both male and female. What's up, Gabby?
Hi, Julius. What's up? Yeah. How are you? This is a hot ass topic. I'll tell you. Oh my God.
I tried my best to come up with a great topic for each Sunday. I be doing so much research.
I love it, man.
That I find the right topic to talk about.
I wanted to support you tonight because you rock. I love and see what you're doing and how you're growing. So I even put it on my stories. I was like, you guys go hop in, because when I hopped in at 6, there was like one person on. I'm like, no, you cannot do that to my boy. You need some more people on here.
I appreciate that. You know what too? Like not to pour out the violins, but even with YouTube on my other channel, they censor me for 3 months and then they demonetize me. So it's so whack. Yeah, they censor me because I quoted Donald Trump and his theory on vaccine injury, and then they demonetized me because I went to a straight pride rally, and because what people were talking about in that video, like the Jews and things like that. They said it was hate speech, so they demonetized my stuff. So
of course they did. Of course they told you it was hate speech. That's some bullshit. Okay, let me tell you guys this though. Okay, I don't know your stories or anything. I know a little bit about Julius because we talked, but okay. So do you guys honestly though think like if you were to go into the dating world, you are gonna find a virgin?
No.
Like, do you guys just honestly think, okay, well, girl, you better be a virgin because that's what I want, because I don't want to think of you with any other damn dude on you. Okay, is that what you guys think? I mean, because let's be real, that's wishful
thinking. I got something to say about that.
That shit's never gonna happen. Let's be real.
I got something to say about that, and that's
unless you're dating a 21-year-old. Okay,
but you know what though?
Because I lost my virginity at 21. That's all I'll say about my sex life.
So, I'm glad you said that. Here's 2 things I'll say.
Yeah.
Last weekend at the Straight Pride rally, after we came back from it, I actually met a woman who was 52 years old and she's still a virgin.
Okay, how did she busted? Was she busted? Was she cute? Was she cute? I'm just that doesn't matter. It's the fact that
she's willing to wait until marriage. It really doesn't
No,
matter.
okay, that's good. No, that's good.
Because if she was hot
just
or
joking.
if she was hot, or she not, no, I get it. But if she's hot or not, it's like that doesn't matter because she's still waiting. I mean,
yeah.
look,
Come
even
on,
with,
come on, Julius, swoop her up, bro. That's the best virgin you're gonna get.
now here's my second thing.
Oh,
This is what I find fascinating. This is where I would say I'm a lot more pro women than anybody else. Because
Yeah.
when I hear men and women say you're not going to find a virgin, that tells me that you and everybody else see women as hoes. So why do people get mad?
I know how. Okay,
hold on. Why do people get mad at the red pill and say they're calling women hoes? But then when they say they want a virgin, you're not gonna find a virgin. So you already see women as hoes. So why are you mad at men saying the same thing?
No, bro, because you're saying,
up.
bro, no, dude, hold on, stop. You're saying a woman. Okay, so are you guys telling me a woman who has had, okay, let's say more than 2 partners? Is that a hoe? Is that somebody you won't even give a chance? I just want to ask. Just be honest, men, right here. Be honest.
I'll give them a shot if they got 3 bodies. Like that's I'm gonna definitely give them a shot.
Okay, Duran. Okay.
Because I don't have much to work with. Like there is no virgins out here. There's no 18-year-old virgins. If you want a virgin, you got to scoop them up in high school when they're 14 years old.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Julian, what about you, Julius?
I actually have a little bit of stats for you. So it's been said that so for example, according to CDC, the birth rates have been declining amongst men and women, especially of young age, especially teen birth rates. Teen birth rates have been declining. Not to say that teens are not having sex, but the average male and female who has sex is at 17 years old. So that's half. But the teen.
Oh, I'm proud of myself. Hold on, because I waited till 21. Okay, just saying. Okay, I'll be quiet.
So because of that, not to say that teens are not having sex, they're still having sex because of contraception, things like that. The point I'm making is that you asked the question of if she had 2 bodies, would you still give her a chance? Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving her a chance, but that's still a big risk because according to the University of Utah, women who have at least 2 partners have a higher likelihood of divorce than the women who has 9 partners. So there's still a risk either way. So even if she has 2 partners, I'm still taking the risk because if I marry her and then she sees something better or she goes back to what she used to have, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I just wanted to pop in and say, do you guys think you're gonna
No. We want you to join the conversation. I'm hoping that Jules comes in too. We want you guys to join the conversation. I think because look, we want this podcast to really be different from the red pill stuff. We don't want to be fresh and fit. We don't want to be whatever podcast. No disrespect to them. I love their podcast, but we don't want to just be saying the same old thing. We want nuance and more detailed conversations because questions like yours, it's a great question. If she has 2 bodies, would you still give her a chance?
Yeah, like that's just a fair question. I just want to know: is there hope?
Yeah.
For me.
So okay, so I had to look at the actual definition just so we all know the actual definition, the urban definition. So let me see. I'm trying to find what the actual word mean because they have like the tool, they have that, but I'm trying to find like the actual definition of a 304 a 304.
What's that?
304.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how you calculate your upside down.
Yeah, look it up. I want to know if I'm a hoe. Okay, I don't think I am. I don't think I am, but I want to know. Hey, I was married for 14 years, so had that for a long time.
Did you okay, so did you watch that live stream I did on Instagram when it was me?
I sure did. I was right there. I just didn't want to say too much because I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, no, that
about
was
my personal life, but
okay, so
it was a good conversation.
So this comes from fluentland.com. It says, what does hoe mean? I'm going to bring this up on screen so we all can see it. Give me one sec. Let me see. I'm hoping that we get more people to come on. If
Tell
wants to share
Jules. Yeah, tell Jules. I just told her in the chat. I can't see the chat on YouTube because I'm on StreamYard, so I don't know if people are even commenting, but because I can't see anything. But yeah, Jules, tell Jules to come on.
Okay, so this comes from fluentland.com. So what does hoe mean? A hoe is someone, generally a woman who is promiscuous. That is to say, that they have a lot of sexual partners or not very picky when it comes to who they choose to have sex with. It may also be used for someone who may not actually have sex with a lot of people, but give off the vibes of being somewhat trashy, low class, and easy to sleep with. Like hoe, other words can be used to convey the same meaning, are slut or tramp. There are also variations of the word such as MW, AW, ASW, and slore, wherever that means. I don't know what that means, but
and thought.
Yeah, thoughty. Yeah.
Don't be thoughty, okay? No, I literally,
Tatiana.
you guys. No, I literally just realized what that word was when they were like, "Oh, you're trying to be a thought." I'm like, "What? Like a thought in your head?" No, girl.
Gabby. Okay.
A thought.
Quick story
bro.
for you
like,
guys.
Oh.
Quick story for you guys. I was there when that word was first, quote unquote, invented, if you will, or when it first started. So
Really?
back in 2013, I used to work at Six Flags in Vallejo, and it was like during the daytime. My supervisor comes in, and he goes, "Yeah, we had to kick this guy out because him and his girl was fighting, and his girl was mad because he called her a thought." And all of us got silent and was like,
"What?"
He was like,
"He's like a sexual
what?
thought? What? A thought?
No, we had no idea what that meant, and I was like, wait a minute, so what? He called her a thought? Like, what did he do? He said, "You're a." Like that, and so we was like, "What does that mean?" And for the longest time, I had no idea until like 2-3 years later on.
That's crazy, right? You're like a thought.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, "Wait, he called her a thought?" Because the way he said it, he was like, "He called her a thought." I was like,
"What the hell is that?"
I was like, "Wait, he kicked her out because he called her a thought?"
Oh my god, I'm dying.
Like,
I'm dying.
what are we doing here at Six Flags? Like, what kind of security are we? It was so weird, but then I found out later on. I was like, oh, because thought means THOT. It means that hoe over there.
Oh, what? That's what it means? I had no idea.
That hoe over there.
Hoe over there.
I was like, that's what it means. I was like, that's interesting. And then like once I heard it like 2-3 years later on, I was like, now I know what it means. And then it clicked, and I was like, dang, all right, well now I get it. But yeah, so
oh my god, that's crazy.
Back to the hoe definition. Basically, a hoe is a promiscuous woman who has sex with lots of people. That's what it is. So
okay, well, that's not me. Okay.
Real quick. I want to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
So let's say she's only slept with 3 guys, right?
Yeah.
But 2 of them flipped. Is that a hoe?
What do you mean 2 of them flipped? Like they became transgender? What? What do you say? I'm sorry, I don't get the question.
Careful what you said, Gabby. We ain't trying to get taken down.
Sorry. Wait, what do you mean 2 of them flipped? I don't get it.
Flip means 2 guys have sex with her at the same time.
Oh no, I'd have never heard that. Yeah. Oh my god, I would never.
I would say it is. And the reason why, because that definition was basically saying that it could be somebody who's vibe of being somewhat trashy, low class, and easy to sleep with. So if she's allowed those 2 dudes to
ew, oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Easy to sleep with, so therefore she'll be a hoe.
Okay. Julian, I wanted to ask you guys this question because I was thinking about it.
Hold on. You got to get my name right.
I mean, oh my God, why am I saying Julian? Forgive me. Hi, Jules. Okay, I just called him Julian again. Julius, I'm so sorry. Forgive me, brother. Oh my God. So forgiven. Okay, I got to ask you guys this question. Okay, hey, Jules. Okay, so I had this question. Of course, I am pro-life and the sanctity of life, but I want to ask you guys what you think of this scenario, okay? There's, a college student. She's in a frat house and she goes and has too much to drink, okay? And she finds herself being not finds herself, but let's just say her friends tell her that the night before she had got raped by like 10 men, right? She was taken advantage of, let's just say, okay? Have you guys heard of that? Like trains or something like that is called, where men take advantage of women who are highly intoxicated. Okay, let's just say she got pregnant. But how do you know who the dad is when you've been in that situation? Now, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, Julius, like you do, because you guys know I'm pro-life and I stand by that. But what do you think she should do in that sense? If she's been raped by 10 men and she doesn't know who the dad is, I don't
Are
know.
you saying
What,
that?
what would you guys say she should what would she do? I don't know. I'm asking you
Yeah,
guys a
yeah.
question.
No.
I'm trying to
Gotta be
pose the
a good
question.
single mom.
Yeah. Let me.
Right? Oh my gosh,
let
that's
me
so
make this
sad.
clear. Yeah, let me make this clear. I changed my position. I'm no longer pro-life. I'm an abortion abolitionist. So
Okay.
abortion should be banned all across the board. So with that being said, you're saying that all, like, let's say 10 guys it was, those 10
Yeah,
guys
they trained her
ejaculated,
pretty much.
they ejaculated inside of her, right? And now she's pregnant with the kid. I think
Yeah.
she should still have the baby and yet get the DNA and then just find out what it is, but don't kill that baby.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah,
Okay.
same thing. Like she could get the DNA. She knows who's part of the frat, so she can run a DNA test on all of them.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah, I would
Now,
agree.
what happens afterwards, as far as the men goes, that's going to be pretty crazy because anytime you get the courts involved, it's just always pretty
Now,
bad.
do you
So,
think they should all go to jail, right? They raped her under
of course,
intoxication.
of course, yeah.
Now,
I mean, yeah.
okay, so how do you know they
but
raped her? Meaning, like she
Well,
was
I
just
mean,
like
if she
blackout
was
drunk?
intoxicated and she didn't consent to it and she was freaking blackout drunk and all these guys just hit it
Oh, okay,
without
yeah.
her knowing, like, I mean, and then
yeah,
she wakes up and finds out 3 months later she's pregnant. Like,
yeah. Then yeah,
that's a little
castrate
messed
those
up.
guys. Yeah, castrate all of them
Yeah.
and lock them up.
Castrate them. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my
they
god.
committed the crime. They raped the woman.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Castrate all of them. I think that's just me. That's why I say the
Yeah, it's
pro-life
sad.
stance is like, you know, when
It's
you're
sad.
pro-life, you're pro-life. But I'm
Yeah.
castrate
Yeah.
that guy, kill him, guillotine, whatever you gotta do. I'm just saying he committed a crime. So,
What's
okay,
up,
so-
Jules? What's up, Jules? How are you?
I'm just gonna bring something up because I know Julius has brought this up before, where it comes down to how do you know she was raped and how do you know the guys themselves weren't raped? You know, because we've heard of stories as well. Like, how do you know? Who do you believe? Now, I'm not gonna say that this stuff doesn't happen because I know it does, but how do you know who's the rapist and who's the one that's being taken advantage of?
I mean, when do you ever rape a man, Jules? Do we ever, women do not rape men?
They do actually. No, hold on.
What?
Correction. Hold on. Correction. They do. If you guys don't know, this year alone, there have been a lot of articles of women teachers in their 30s who are raping young boys. That's been happening all throughout this year.
You remember that story from years ago about the one teacher? I think it was like the first story I've ever heard, at least in my life, about this white teacher who got pregnant from her.
Yes, her student. Yes, he was 13. He was like 13.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And you never heard of that before. So I'm not saying that she raped him,
right?
But according to the law,
she raped him.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's happened in certain levels.
That happened to a friend of mine. His teacher did that to him.
Wait, how old was he though?
I think he was in 7th grade.
What? How are you freaking having sex with a 7th grader, bro?
And she took him to the house because she lived right around the corner from the school. Took him to the house and got it in. And then years later, she finally got caught. Years later, she got caught. And she comes out in the newspaper. And my friend was like, "Yep, she did it. I know she did it because she did it to me." So she was doing it to a bunch of kids.
No.
Hold on. But did they actually pass the class though? That's all I want to know. Straight A's or
they definitely passed the class. They definitely
Seriously, oh my
God. But hold on. But here's the funny about that though. Here's the double standard. Every time that, and I saw this on Twitter and it was very bizarre. The woman in Colorado, she's like Hispanic, right? She had a baby with the 13-year-old, whatever the case. When her picture came out, all the comments was like, "I wish that was my teacher. Man, she's bad. I would." All this stuff. Right now, get this. 1 month afterwards, literally 1 month afterwards, there was another woman, a teacher, who had sex with this student and told him to take it like a man. What happened was she was not that attractive. All the men said, wood chipper, kill her. I'm like, so
because she wasn't attractive.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? So because she
That's
wasn't attractive,
crazy.
kill her. But when she was attractive, I would. But they're both pedophiles. What
Emphasis
up,
on the
man?
wood.
Wow.
Real quick. Omega Magic, for those of you guys don't know, he's been on Angela's stream multiple times. So I appreciate you for joining this stream. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Julius?
All is well. All is well. Okay, so let's get back to the topic at hand since we got 5 people
I
on.
was going to say that teacher was, the teacher was Mary Kay Letourneau. And I know this because she's from my.
Oh Lord, it sounds staticky, guys.
Yeah, your mic is very staticky.
Very staticky. Right. Sounds like popcorn. Smells like popcorn.
We can hear you, but just your mic is like.
Okay, keep. Good.
Still. Maybe go off and go back on. Oh wait, keep going.
How about now?
Good. You're good. You're clear.
Right,
you're
cool.
smooth as butter. Smooth as freaking butter.
Ooh.
All right. Okay.
But
so
yeah, I was just saying.
Go ahead. No,
I was just about to say the story you're talking about was named Mary Kay Letourneau. It happened in my state. And
that's the one.
I knew but she went to jail for that, but she got out, and then she recently passed away. And I knew the dude because he was a DJ just like me, and like we weren't best friends, but I met him a few times because we were in the DJ industry. But yeah, it was like some Mexican dude and kid that grew up.
She had 2 kids from him, I think, right? She had more than one child.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah, and she got out of prison. Yeah, they got married and made it official. So I mean,
what? Wait. How old was the woman again, guys? How old was she?
I don't remember the age.
No,
but I don't remember the exact age. But I just know that she was an adult.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, quick. No, it's all good. Okay, so the topic of tonight is basically asking, does the past matter? Does a person's past relationship or relationships matter when it comes to a new relationship? So basically, the a scenario would be if I met a woman, like I'm 36 years old. Let's say I met a woman who was 32, and at 32, she's had, let's say 10 or 11, past relationships, but she hadn't done anything for 4 years. From 28 to 32, she hadn't done anything for 4 years, but she's had 11 boyfriends in the past. Do I give her a chance or do I not? And that's kind of like what we're talking about is, does a person's past matter in order for us to have a relationship moving forward? So I'll start with Jules. I want to start with you. What is your take on that?
So personally, I believe in repentance. I believe in that somebody has the right and the ability to say, you know what, my past is my past. If you're living in your past and you're bringing that and dragging it in with you, that's a whole other thing. Obviously, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want anybody's past to be brought up in their faces and thrown against them. Yes. So what? You've had partners. Great. Guess what? I don't know the statistics of how many virgins are out there, but that's probably less likely for you to actually encounter one as opposed for you to actually encounter somebody who's already been with people. Yes.
I actually have that stat. I believe it's
of course he does.
Yeah, I believe it's 18 through 24. It's about like 20% who are virgins. And I believe it's 25 through, I think, like over 30. It's about like just under 10%. And then from basically 40 plus, it's like the low, like 3% or something like that.
Okay. Now, if you're looking for somebody that's around your age, again, this is all has to do obviously with your own personal, morals and things like that, obviously. Depending your age, depending what it is that you're looking for, I just strongly suggest be straightforward, always be transparent and honest. And yes, use your discernment. If you think they're bullshitting you, obviously, ditch them. Just with everything. If you don't like how they smell, if you don't like how they look, obviously, don't waste your time. That's really all it is. If somebody's being completely honest with you and they're giving you all of their heart and they clearly are living a life that that, you know, they completely are repentant of that type of lifestyle that they had, or however many partners or whatever. And you can see for yourself that they're not living it as we speak, as they're trying to, you know, go on a date with you. All I have to say is just be real, be 100% real with that person, because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure a lot of us have that discernment within us, you know, that we can kind of tell when somebody's bullshitting you. I don't know about you, but I got my degree in BS after being with certain people. So I can kind of tell, oh
That's
yeah,
funny.
red flag, you know, red flag. Like, okay, yeah, I don't know about that, but like you should be able to have your own set of boundaries, like ready to go with whoever. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship you're in, whether it be a business relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a boyfriend or girlfriend. You know, when I go out on a date, I'm not gonna go out to go get laid or anything like that. That's not my goal. My goal is to actually, guess what, be with you for the rest of my life. That should be the intention in going out on a date. If you're not ready to do that, then don't waste your time and don't waste my time. And that's all I ask, you know, just be completely transparent and live a life of repentance. You know, people who live a life of abstinence, I don't know many people that are going to brag about it. So I would say, hey, they're actually being truthful, you know? But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
And then, Gabby, what is your thoughts on does a person's past matter? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, mine will be short but sweet. Just if it matters, if you make it matter. It literally, like if you want to dig into somebody's past and find out how many partners they've had and such, like it matters to you if you make it matter. If not, then you guys move on and just try to build a relationship on each other, not the past. You know, I mean, that's how I see it, because with my ex-husband, I didn't ask him, you know, I didn't want to know his past, and he really didn't want to know mine, and so we built our relationship on that. I mean,
So you
so
say
I say that it matters if you make it matter. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay, and then Omega, what do you think?
I don't think it matters because I mean, when I get with a female, I'm not worried about me personally. I'm not worried about what the last did. I'm worried about what I'm gonna do with that
yeah,
female because I feel like if you do that, you're trying to set yourself up, whether you realize it or not, as far as like competing with the previous dudes. And
yes,
it's
I agree with
like,
this guy. Yep,
yeah, and it's like, if she's over the dudes that has
yep,
already been in her, why are you worried about it? And especially if you don't even know the dudes that were in her.
right. Right. See, like, why do you want to put that? Like Julia said, they think about it and they're like, oh my God, I'm imagining this girl with the whatever dude she's had. Like, but if you don't bring up that, I mean, it's a psychological thing. If you don't bring it up, it's better left unsaid. I mean, some things are better left unsaid, honestly. I mean,
Would you?
No,
that's my
I gotta know. I gotta know.
no.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. So would you guys? Let's say that she doesn't bring it up, and
Mm-hmm.
this guy meets this girl, and as you know, Duran said, she's head over heels for you, right? She likes you so much.
Yeah.
Don't you think that even though she doesn't say anything, her actions will speak a whole lot louder than her words because she's had all these boyfriends. Then when she gets to you, certain behaviors will start to display because of her insecurities. Do you get what I mean? Because let's say you got to think the reason why I say a past matters because one guy could have cheated on her, one guy could have abused her, one guy
Mm-hmm.
could have, whatever the case may happen that traumatized her, that could have happened. So then she moves on and then she goes with the next guy. Now things she starts to display in the relationship, it's like a red flag. And so
Mm.
you're like, well, do I carry on with this girl? I like this girl, but she's acting insecure.
But
She's
what I'm
acting like
saying,
who
it's
I'm
up to
texting.
yeah, it's up to that. It's up to that single couple to decide whether or not they want to dig into that person's past. Like, because if again, like this guy said, what's his name? The guy down here, Omega.
Yeah.
Like he said, if like
Right.
if you hey, what's up? If you bring it up, then you're gonna really think about it, and then you have something to think about as far as red flags. I feel it's in the discretion of the couple to bring it up. Like, yeah, okay, I was in an abusive marriage, so I want you to know that this shit, and this shit triggers me. So don't do it, or bye. That's if he
Completely
Right.
wants to
agree.
know,
So,
if
Completely
he
so
agree.
that's
wants
what
to
I
know
mean.
about my past, my marriage, and why I left, okay, then
But
you're
But
gonna
I
get that.
also
I
I
feel like
want
with
to
the
add to that real
experience with
quick.
it, with with the experience argument, like the benefits as far as the good from it outweigh the bad, right? Like the worst case scenario is, let's say she was raped or whatever, like, and she's apprehensive about it. Yeah, she'll let you, that's understandable. She'll let you know it's understandable, right? And that's easily accommodatable, right?
Right.
Right. But as far as like the benefits goes, it's like, and me, I guess this is my own personal preference because, yeah. But as far as the benefits go, like because of the experience that she has, you're just going to end up with great sex because of the experience.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not trying to.
He said it.
I'm just saying, I wasn't trying to be rude about it. I'm trying to.
That's fine. No, hey, that's fine. But, speak your mind, brothers. Speak your mind. But here's the issue I have with that. That's the biggest problem, is that experience. See, this is the reason why I harp on the fact that men and women should be virgins until marriage, because I don't want to get with a girl who's given a blowjob to this guy, and what she practiced on him, she does to me. I'm like, why is she so good at doing this? Now that just automatically.
Okay, so honestly, do you want her? Okay, hold on. Do you want her to be bad? Do you want her to be a?
Hold on, stop right there. I'm glad you said that. I am so glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm asking the truth.
But no. I'm glad.
Do you want her to bite your dick or what?
But no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. I find it. This is the reason why I don't understand why people get mad, red pill, when they say girls are hoes, and they go, "Oh, why is it they're hoes?" Because you want them to be good at sex, like you want her to give a blowjob to another guy. If you're both virgins, why would it matter how bad it is?
Right.
Why would it matter? How would you even know what is bad? You won't know because you've never done it. So what is bad?
I know, but hypothetically, I know, but virgins.
I wouldn't know, and that's the beauty of it. I wouldn't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know that she gave Tom, Dick, and Harry the best blowjob, and I'm the last guy she's a good blowjob to. I don't want that. I don't want to know anything.
It still may be good, Julius. It still may be good.
I want me and her to have that awkward experience, so we have something to share throughout our lives and go, hey, remember that first time we did it? Oh, ha, 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 ha. And we fall in love all over again. And yet now I was like, oh, well, I have to accept the fact that she gave Tom, Dick, and Harry the best blowjob, the best cowgirl position. And then now she's doing that to me. And now I feel awkward because she's so good at it. Y'all see, this is crazy. Y'all want women to be hoes. I'm trying to say women to not be hoes.
I'm not Julius. I do not. Julius, I do not want women to be hoes, bro.
Not at all.
I do.
15 seconds ago, you said you wanted to bite your dick.
I mean, that's kind of exciting.
Saying, oh my God.
Y'all freaks.
But I have to
freaking the sheets, bro. Freaking the sheets.
Look, Julie,
certified and accepted.
If you're more concerned about her being a pro or doing this and that, but then you're the one that's pointing that out, what does that say about you?
Ooh.
That says that I care about my body and that I don't want a girl who slobber all over other men and then put her germs all over me. I don't want that. No man.
But what if she brushed her teeth after? What if she brushed her teeth?
She brought her
it don't matter. It doesn't
matter.
Brushing your teeth.
I'm kidding. You know I'm joking.
Your mouth on another man. Brushing your teeth does not wipe away. People act like you brush your teeth, it like clears the path. Brushing your teeth does not clear the path. It's not some magical thing when you brush your teeth.
Shit.
It's like we don't have that Men in Black neuralizer where you just poof.
Right.
Wow.
But
that's crazy. Y'all crazy. I love you guys, but y'all crazy.
Love you too.
I mean, but here's the thing, like,
watch this shit be on Julius's stories. People are gonna be like, Gabby's a hoe. She don't bite dicks. That's what she's gonna say.
Listen, I'm listening to that, right?
I have something to say about, like, you advocate for, like, saving yourself to marriage. Like, you do realize, like, let's say you both save yourself to marriage, right? Until you're married, right? And you do realize the sex, even after you have on your honeymoon, it's going to be the same. Only difference is it's going to be at your place or at your brand new place. Like, it's going to be this, like the same pussy you get at the honeymoon is going to be the same pussy that you get at your place. So it's like what's so
wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, why does it, like, Like, I mean, do you like, think there's something like magical that happens on the honeymoon? Like, does it mean you lose it when you
Yeah, there is a magical.
There,
The fact that
yeah, you
there's
bust
some
quick
magical
and
to that
then you
because
start back over again. That's all that
no, no,
happens.
no.
I
But
mean,
hold on,
that
but hold on. Here's what's magical about it because she has not had no man touch her, and you have not had no women touch you. So both you guys are experiencing something that you never experienced before. This is the reason why when secular women say, "I want a man who's experienced," well, if both of you guys were virgins and then you have sex with each other after marriage, now you have a man who's experienced. Now through that romance, you can learn as you're going along. I think that's what keeps the spark alive. The fact that you never had any of the spark before that.
And I agree with Julius. That's a beautiful thing. And most conservative women desire to be with a man who's a virgin and the woman who's a virgin. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a great thing. I agree with you. I think it's a beautiful thing, Julius. I do. But
I just don't
unfortunately, it's not as rare. I wish it was. Save the
but the
virgins.
fact that but the fact that we have a 20% of young people who are from 18 to 24 who are virgins, there are people in this country who are virgins.
That's
It can
awesome.
happen. The problem is too is that when we think about virginity, we never think about the future. We always talk about save the children. Don't
Hmm.
don't indoctrinate our children. But
Yeah.
then yet we're okay with saying, well, hey, you're not gonna find a virgin, but we can if we set the example today for our children moving forward.
Okay, do you think, Julius, it's fair to say you can get a virgin since you've already had sex? You have a daughter. I have kids. Like, do you think it's fair to be like, well, I want a virgin. I'm looking for a man virgin out there. Like, and can you say? I'm sorry, Julius is Julie's laughing. No, but I'm just saying. Do you think
Did you say
like
man
do you
virgin?
no no, I want a man virgin. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing
Daddy,
that
you
I've
need to put
already
that on
been
a shirt.
experienced. Man,
Yeah,
I want a man virgin, okay? Like, but do you think because Julius, I love you, but you're talking like you've already been with a woman. Do you honestly think that it's fair for you to sit here and say I deserve a virgin?
well, here's the thing.
It's just an
That's
honest
funny.
question.
Frankly, I don't deserve anything. I have to earn it first and
Right.
foremost. So the thing is, even from my case, call it fortunately or unfortunately, women are actually more inclined to date, like for example, the single mother, single dad situation.
Yeah.
Women will actually date single dads more than men would date single mom because
Right.
women look at financial stability, and so when they see a man who has it together, the fact that
Yeah.
I'm in my life, if I have a job, I have my own
Yeah.
place, all that stuff. Women see that. They see resources. They see
Right.
stability. So they're more likely going to date a man who has a child, but a man will not date a woman who has a child because it comes with so much emotional baggage versus with the man, it comes with financial stability.
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question,
Mhm.
um, I would like a woman who's close to pure as possible. I'm
Right.
practicing abstinence, so I'm
Right.
waiting
Right.
until marriage. If she is a
Yay.
virgin,
Mhm.
and let's say I meet her, and she says I'm a virgin, and I say, listen, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, I'm
Mhm.
not. But I've been practicing abstinence because I want to wait
Yeah.
until marriage. I want to save myself. That
Yeah.
might make her more inclined to date me because she sees I'm genuine about it. Do you see what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Now,
I see that for
if she
sure.
says no, I don't want to. I want a guy who's a virgin like me. I'm totally
Mhm.
fine with that.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Absolutely. That's a
Yeah,
great
that's
attitude to
good.
have
Good
going
answer.
into
Good
a
answer. Yeah.
relationship for sure.
Mhm. Absolutely. For
I
real.
mean, I feel like that. I feel like it's the opposite. Like a woman with more experience prior to marriage, sexually, would most likely be with you because I put it this way: she done
Mhm.
ran the block, and like after that, she found the guy like you, or whatever, or any other guy that or whatever, and she was supposed to settle down. Like she doesn't want to be I hate to use this term, but in the streets or whatever, as opposed to
Yeah.
the virgin who, let's say she got sex and she's like, oh my God, this feeling feels so good. And let's just say she runs into this dude that's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson size. And she might be curious as far as like, I wonder what sex with him going to be like. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I disagree.
But the problem is with that is that women who have multiple sex partners have a higher likely of divorce once they get married because of the fact that she's had so many dudes. Quite frankly, I think that sex destroys a woman's body. She doesn't have the ability to pair bond with the last guy she gets with because a lot of guys have imprinted their DNA inside of her. Because so many dudes, again, condom without condom, whatever the case may be, there's still that soul ties. Do you know what I mean? So when she has sex
I
with
was just
multiple
gonna go there
dudes,
right now
she
too.
yeah, when she has sex with multiple dudes, she's unable to pair bond with the last guy she gets with. So therefore, she may not be as invested in him because she's been invested with all these other guys, have all these other experiences. Now that man is put in a position where he kind of has to step up from what she had before. I think that does a lot more damage than it does. It does more harm than it does good. That's why I don't think women should go around the block. They should just
Right.
preserve their bodies, because there used to be a time back in the day when
I love
women
that
say
word.
my body is a temple, and
Yeah.
now every guy's walking through that temple.
Right.
It's no longer valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I truly believe that, and
let's-
I believe we need to be more like Jesus and start flipping those damn tables off of that temple. You know, we need to start to
I
say
mean-
no. No means no. You know, and
Yeah.
it's okay to say no, and it's okay to be said no. Ladies, men,
Yeah.
if she or he says no to you, it's okay. Guess what?
Yeah.
They weren't the one, and it's okay to let them go. Please do not get attached so quickly. Going
Yeah.
back to the soul ties, that is absolutely true, and this is why I agree 100%. Yes, if you can, by all means, stay a virgin as long as you can. Obviously, since we have a past, okay, guess what? Just stop it.
Yeah,
Something
you
like
can
that.
you
Stop
can
it.
you can revirginate
No,
yourself.
stop it.
Is that a word?
And-
Revirginate?
Yeah,
You can-
and also
Gabby,
I got a
it's interesting because
Yeah,
it's interesting. In the
Revirginate.
go ahead. Go. Well,
Hold on,
okay,
Durant.
let me
Yeah,
just finish real quick.
No, yeah. So
Um,
I got a question. Let's say a girl has a wild past, right? And then she meets Julius or whoever. She meets a guy, and now all of a sudden, oh, I want to wait until marriage. Should the guy be cool with that, or should she like already have a history of being abstinent?
ooh, that's
it
a
all
great
depends.
question.
It's a
No,
personal
that's a
question,
great
really.
question, because that's what happened with Logan Paul. So when Logan Paul got married to Nina,
Uh-huh.
she apparently made him wait until they got married, whereas with Leo and her other boyfriends, she didn't do that. So now
Oh.
she made Logan wait. Now, again, I don't condone sex, but I don't think it's fair to, especially if she's not, if it has nothing to do with God or anything, and she's just making him wait, because I think when women do that, and this is just my opinion, I think that they don't value the man as much. They see what they can get from him, almost like gold digging essentially. She sees what she can get from him. So they break rules for the right guy, but make rules for the wrong guy.
Or it could be the fact that maybe she had so many bad experiences with guys and giving it up prior to marriage. That's what she would. She sees a guy and she doesn't want to mess this up. So maybe she's thinking maybe I should just wait to marry. Maybe
Sure,
I should wait
but
to give it up
fool
after
me
marriage.
once.
That could be a reason. Which I've
Yeah,
heard
but
that reason before.
yeah, but that old saying goes, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me." So she's had sex with 3 dudes, so she should have known by the 3rd dude what not to do. Especially, it's like
Third time's a
it's-
charm. Third time's a charm.
Things happen.
Just saying.
Yeah, me
But
personally, I would feel disrespected. Like if she has a wild past and all of a sudden she wants to chill out with me. Nah, we're not doing that. You're gonna
Chill
give it
out
up.
with
You're
me.
gonna give
yeah,
it
I
up
don't,
quick
I
chill
and
out
don't
with
I'm
agree.
out.
Yeah, I don't agree
Yeah,
with the
to be
sex,
fair,
but I understand what you mean.
Right.
I agree too. I agree with that too.
So you would feel offended.
I would feel 100% personally offended.
Wow.
100%.
But I'm just
And
I'm
I
just-
wouldn't even waste my time with her. 'Cause, okay, I'll put it like this. In my personal experience, I've found that the girls that are most into me are the ones that give it up the quickest to me. The ones that like play games with me and try to make me wait, they're not even into me like that. But the ones that are really down with me, they give it up quickest. They can't even help themselves.
Okay, Duran, stop.
He's right.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely, no, he's right.
Are y'all ladies taking notes?
Listen. I've
Saying.
experienced the same thing. When women were hella into me, bam, one night. It's that easy.
Yep.
But when they play games and ghost you and all this stuff, they're not really interested in you because they have other options waiting for them. But that guy is not giving her the attention, so she gets all the validation from you. But
Hold on.
nothing else.
If a girl doesn't give it up to you, you're thinking she's playing games. What if she just wants to wait? Like she just doesn't want to do it. What do you?
I will only wait if she's a virgin. I'll wait with her if she's a virgin. If she's not, and I know that
I feel like the point is she's.
So you would rather her give it up like in 2 days or something?
No,
You wouldn't
but
even
like
like give her
yeah.
time.
Hold on.
He said yes.
Hold on.
One night,
What are you
preferably.
talking about?
Guys, hold on.
What the?
Hold on,
fuck?
everybody. Everybody, hold on.
Oh
It's
my
not-
god.
Hold on. it's not about her wanting to give it up. It's not about that. It's the fact that she has a high attraction to you, and when she does, she's ready. Like it's not like you want it. She's wanting to do it with you, not the other way around. When she has a high attraction, when she does it, she'll play games. She'll like, I gotta go home tonight, and it's all because there's another guy she really wants, but that guy knows how to like work her, so he's not going to give her the validation that she's looking for. So she'll go to the beta male who will give her that non-sexual attention.
But I don't agree. I think if I'm attracted to somebody, and let's say I started putting myself out there again, and I was attracted to a man, I wouldn't want to give it up to him like that, because I'm going to have you wait because I think you're something special, and I don't want you to think that I'm just the one giving it up to, Tom, Dick, and Harry I see. Like, so I would say I really like you, so therefore I'm gonna wait. I don't want to do it with you, but I'm so attracted to you, and we can't be in the same room together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you don't have the history of giving it up quick, right?
Like, you shouldn't be offended by me not wanting to give it up to you.
It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to repent and say, you know what, I'm not going to live that life anymore.
You should actually respect me more. You should actually respect the women more for not doing that, because don't you think
if you got a history of not giving it up quick, then then we can wait. But if you have a history of giving it up quick,
then
you better continue that history with me.
Oh my God!
I don't condone it. I understand what he means.
Hold on.
Jules, back me up. Jules, back me up.
I have a question. Then, with that being said, are you sure you're with her because you want to be with her, or are you just with her just because you want to get into her pants? But you just can't admit it because.
I mean, if she has a high attraction to you, she wanted to get in your pants.
Like,
she's happy to get in your pants. So it's like you guys are both consenting.
Bro, you want to get in her pants too, bro. Like, come on.
True. But I'm saying, but hold on. Wait. Women don't understand this, and maybe you guys don't. But when there's a high attraction to a man, naturally women just want to they want to have sex with you, and there's a high attraction. I've experienced
but we could contain ourselves and be like, I'm not gonna give it up to you because I freaking like you. I like you and you're freaking dope. Like, I don't want to do this.
No, I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying that, on average, when there's a woman who has a high attraction to a man and they're both having that vibe, she'll want to do something with you if you play your cards right. But now, here's what I was going to say earlier. I think it's more empowering for a woman in today's time, young or older. I think it's more empowering if she tells the man that I'm not going to have sex with you, that I'm going to wait for marriage. That's more empowering. But on the flip side of that, to those who are more secular, when she does have a high attraction to you, she's going to want to do something. And how you play that out, like, an example, right? So I used to use Tinder back in the day, and I knew how to finesse women on Tinder. And that's probably a shame to say it, but I just knew. So when I got a date, we would go on a date, and I wouldn't pay for no meal. We just go for drinks, not food. So you don't pay for nothing. So I go for drinks, and then afterwards, I will always go to a place that's close to
Jules. She taking notes, bro.
I will always go to a place that's close to my house, so therefore I can use the line and say, oh, listen, if you want to come over, I only live like 10 minutes away because it's not a far drive. You know what I'm saying? So now,
Jules is a smooth talker.
You ain't gotta.
So now we go back.
You gotta.
Right, but again, that's me. Working the situation. So I'm reading the room, as they say. So we come back to the house, we chill. As we're chilling, I'm just laying there. She's feeling the vibe. We're both into each other, and then something happens. I'm just saying that there's that high attraction. Both of you guys want to deal with each other, but I don't condone that. I'm just saying that's what tends to happen. To Duran's point about her having a past like that, if she's doing that to a lot of guys because she's looking to get her rocks off, and you go on a date with her, you guys are both wanting the same things, and she's like, "Oh, I want to wait." You do kind of feel some kind of way. It's like blue balls happen. You're like, oh, man, and she made me wait, but this other guy got it for free essentially. Like, I gotta stay and do all this stuff, and he got it for free. So I get that. But
okay, really quick, what is blue balls?
It's essentially where It's essentially
You guys
where,
tell me what that feels like. I want to know.
It's
I
like
mean,
your balls got a weight on them. Like there's someone just kind of
yeah.
dropped a fucking sledgehammer on your nuts.
Really? Do they feel like
I
heavy? Do they feel like heavy weights?
They feel heavy and like sensitive that if you bump something, it's gonna be extra painful.
Ouch. Okay.
Okay,
I
or
don't know. That
just
was my
imagine
experience
that.
with them.
Just imagine like a guy that you like, and the mood is right, the time is right, everything, the soul setting is right,
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking good and shit. And then when it comes down to, and he's doing all the types of things to like get you wet and the river running and whatnot. And so just imagine that all that happens. Yeah, making it rain. Yeah,
Wet and wild. Wet and wild.
Yeah,
Okay, wet and wild.
yeah, a tsunami in the Punani is burnt ruined, right? So like, let's just say that happened.
Oh,
Let's just say that's happening, right? But then guess
As
what?
long
The
as it's
guys
not
was like,
Hurricane Hillary, I guess that's
yeah. Okay.
Jules.
Let me finish it.
Oh
Let's just
God.
say all that is stirring up in you, right? But then guess what? The guy just falls asleep. How would you feel after that?
I just go to the bathroom
Ooh.
and do what I
No,
gotta do.
great. That's a great question.
That's blue. That's
Great
what they play blue
question.
balls. I'm telling
That's a great question.
blue
How would
balls.
women feel if you wanted to do something and then the guy just falls asleep? That's exactly what we feel when a woman.
I think
denies us.
men probably feel it harder. Not gonna lie. I don't think.
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
it-
so
it-
here's
I don't
the
think it
actual-
really phases us as much. You know.
It does. Here's the actual definition
No.
of blue balls. Blue balls
No.
is a slang term to refer to a mildly painful feeling in the testicles of unrelieved sexual arousal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
No, but
So,
do your balls get like hard?
No, they're
mean-
not hard.
They're not hard.
Yeah.
They don't become weights or anything with all the shit inside of it.
but I mean, it feels like weight.
little
Like,
little
it feels
30
like somebody
pounders
like
hanging around.
yeah. It's like
I
they,
mean, that sucks. Sorry
Yeah.
if I ever did that to anyone.
all the guys watching was like, oh, that time. No, but this is the reason why I bring it back. I know we're not on this topic, but I bring it back to men and women should wait until marriage because you can weed out all that bull crap. You can weed out all the drama, all the trauma, all the stress, everything like that. I think men should be able to lead themselves by controlling their sexual urges and being more disciplined about life, getting in shape, making money, financial stability. Lead yourself so you can lead a family. If you can't lead yourself, you can never lead a family.
If you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Be real,
No, I think it's easier done than said because you gotta just do it. You know what I mean? Like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it. So that's all you gotta do.
I mean, I guess that's very subjective, but
is it though?
Yeah, I would say it is. I mean,
I don't
there could be
think it is.
nippos out there that's like, I mean, people take copiums differently. Or handle copiums differently. You know what I'm saying? Like a crackhead will take this one crackhead hit and bam, he's addicted. And a crackhead.
Yeah, but if you stop giving drugs to the community, then they'll stop doing crack.
What's that?
If you start,
with some people, it's easier said than done. That's why I say it's subjective.
Maybe I don't know.
But if men could contain themselves like that, I mean, more power to you. But like,
they should. I think they should. I think we have a better society. I had a conversation on Discord and somebody was saying that it would be an unproductive society essentially if we had waited until marriage because it's like population control, things like that. I just disagree. I think that we as men, again, we have to control ourselves. I think pornography plays a big part in the and these hookup culture. I think that when a man feels, that's why these incels, they're sexually frustrated because they think they have to go and have sex with women in order to feel like a man. I would argue that that's allowing the women to control you. If you allow women to control you, how are you a man if you're letting the women lead you?
I would think that the whole concept of waiting to your marriage would actually create incels because and hookup culture could be a good cure for that because think about it, what the incel really is. It's a guy who is involuntary celibate, like he's not getting done, right? So, but if you engage in hookup culture, let's say you do find a trick, guess what? You're no longer an incel because you had sex.
Yeah, but the problem with incels is that to me, incels remind me of feminism. They've been lied to about sex. And here's why I say that, because if a man is involuntary celibate and he's having sexual frustration, what does he turn to? He turns to pornography. What does pornography have? A lot of categories, very messed up stuff. Stepmom and stepson, mom and son, or child, and you know what I mean? It ends up going
And
so
it's all
deeper
really an
where
escape. It's
yeah,
an escape
and
of reality, really. Like, what is it that
yeah.
you're facing in reality that is so wrong, that it's so like you can't even like take it anymore, that you're having to escape from it.
Yeah. And then what happens
What
is
is
too is that if they start to get into masturbation and then masturbate into pornography for artificial pleasure, then what happens is that they start to become desensitized to masturbation to a point where now they gotta start looking at other things like bestiality or even rape.
Wasn't
And
it
then
Prager who just finished saying that there's something wrong with that, by the way?
Who?
yeah,
Prager?
PragerU. Yeah, basically
What did he say?
He
so
also said
it is
I think
Prager, a
it's not. Oh, go
PragerU.
ahead.
What did he say?
Yeah. Well, this PragerU was basically talking about child pornography in AI form. He was saying that there's nothing wrong with it; it's the act of it, right? But it's still bad because it's being portrayed. The fact that the people acted on making the AI child pornography,
Yes.
it's still bad. My point is that with a man who's involuntary celibate, he may lead toward pornography that may lead him to other things.
Correct.
Then when he goes out in the world, his mind is doing nothing but objectifying every single woman to
Yes,
the
that
point
is
where
correct.
he'll lower his standards so much to where, let's say for example, he sees a fat chick, but her boobs are bouncing up and down. He's gonna get turned on by that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the reason.
What's wrong with that though? Like, I mean, if a dude does have sex with like a fat chick with big boobs, I mean, fine, I wouldn't do it, but at the same time, I
Because
mean, it'll solve the problem of the incel community. He's getting laid. Well, I mean,
Nothing
because
but her
it,
face.
it's
Nothing
not
but
no,
her
like a
face.
yeah.
because
I mean,
the
it's just on
incel
a Swedish model, maybe fine, but at the same
no
time, dude, your problem of incelery gets solved. But the thing is,
yeah
but if we promoted promiscuity, then because if we promoted
But
promiscuity,
it's exactly what
then they get solved incel. We can solve incelery, you know. But
the problem with the incels is that they're having sexual frustrations. If they take that sexual frustrations out on the world, it ends up leading to rape.
Can I ask you something?
Right,
Do men need to the urge to like release like all the time? I need to know. Like, do you guys believe that it's possible for a man, if he's celibate, to stay celibate without jacking off and be fine?
I think
no.
he can
Because if you're
I,
celibate and you just aren't putting it in a girl, but you are need to, because it's in the man's DNA. I mean, that's how they're made, for a man to release. So if they haven't gotten it in 4 years, are you telling me that a man hasn't masturbated in 4 years? He hasn't had sex. He's not putting it in anything, but he hasn't
yeah.
masturbated.
Well, this
I know
so
that's a personal question, but if you want to answer
real
it, you
quick,
can.
real
If you
quick.
don't, you don't.
I'll
No,
answer it.
real
No,
quick.
I don't. Because
Well,
there's a simple fact called a thing called morning wood. Like we'll wake up with a boner, you'll be like, damn, how do I solve this? And you'll eventually put two and two together and bust your nut. Like I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
like you have to do that. I don't believe they can be not knowledgeable enough on how to bust their morning wood after like 40 years. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
I would
especially in
say
this society.
Right.
I would say in my opinion, I think it comes down to correct me if I'm wrong, but it comes down to good parenting. If a child doesn't have that on their mind to think like that, then they won't even know about that. Secondly, too, is that you asked the question: do men have to release?
Yes.
God, I had a great answer for that too.
Because
Shit, I don't know. I only went 19 days. That's as long as I went.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just an honest question, because women, I don't think, need to release as much as men do. I think if men are not in a relationship and you want to be celibate, are you just like, I'm sorry, like, are you just like busting a nut by yourself? Or
You said,
I mean,
oh, sorry, but hold on, you said 19 days.
Yeah, is that a long time or a little?
I mean,
that's an
I can't
awkward
even
number to wait, but
I'm not trying to get personal, but I can't even remember the last time I did. It's been like years for me.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wait, Julius, so you haven't released in years? Like, you haven't?
Mm-mm.
That's really
Wow,
commendable. That's very
impressive.
respectable, admirable.
Yeah.
Because I thought that men, honestly, that's just really news, because I thought that men, if they're celibate, right, but they are just naturally have to, like that guy said, Omega, that you have a morning wood. I don't know, like what do? You just don't do it. You just don't masturbate. I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't, because in my opinion, I think masturbation. You guys
Mm.
can disagree, but I think masturbation is still a woman controlling you. You're allowing the woman to control you, because when you masturbate as a man, who you thinking about? You're thinking about the woman. So you're allowing her to control that you can't control your sexual urges, and that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but what if you're a virgin? So then, what woman is controlling you?
Yeah, like if there's a boy virgin
Whatever
and
girl
like
you have a crush
No,
on.
but if you're a virgin and you're masturbating, you're still allowing the woman to control you. You're a
What
man.
woman is
You're
controlling you?
the woman that
The one you like.
yeah,
Oh,
whoever
okay,
you
okay.
like,
To be fair,
whoever you like, whoever you're thinking of, because you gotta think
Mhm.
about something. People don't just close their eyes and have
Okay.
a black screen and just think, oh, black screen.
Oh, the black
Oh,
is
black
turning me
screen.
on. The black
Oh,
is turning
this
me
is
on.
making me come. Like,
Oh my
okay, but be
god.
that as it may, like, is that really okay?
Oh my
Is that
god,
really
this
a
is
bad
so
thing?
funny.
As far is that really a bad thing as far as like women controlling you? Because
it is
like
bad.
Yeah.
Here's why.
I don't
I
know.
don't think it is. Like,
No, and mind you, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
Here's why I think it's bad. I think it's bad because if a man cannot control his sexual urges, this is the reason why in the Bible it says that if a man can't control his sexual urges, you might as well just get married. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, like if you're burning with lust, like that's what it says. If you're burning with lust, you might as well get married. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an
Well, that's
atheist.
commendable. That's very admirable of you, Julius. Very cool.
Okay, I have a question. Then.
It's
So,
crazy. It's
Julius,
crazy.
I have two
That's
questions
Yes.
cool.
for you. I have two
What's up?
questions for you, Julius. So, the chick that you meet, are you gonna wait till you're married with the chick that you meet?
Yes.
From here on out?
Yeah, he is. He already
Oh,
said it.
okay. So now my question number 2 comes into play. Let's say the chick that you meet is a virgin, never had a sex, right?
Woo,
So,
Julius
but at the same
scored
time,
with that.
so yeah, let's flip it on you. Like, let's say the chick that you meet is a virgin and she's never had sex, but right, but then she looks down at you because you've had a promiscuous past, right? So, like, how would you feel about that?
I don't think
I
she
did.
would look down on him.
No.
I'm just saying, but this is
No.
hypothetical. But, yeah.
Good question. My answer is I will be okay with that. 'Cause I said earlier that if she
Yeah.
said, "Well, listen, you had sex. I don't want to be the guy who's already had sex, so I like
Yeah.
you, but I'm gonna have to reject this relationship." I said that's
Mhm.
totally fine. Matter of fact, that would make her respect me a whole lot more. That I respect her for standing her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then
I'm
she
not.
might
I'm not
just
getting
crawl
mad
on
at
back.
her. Yeah, I'm not getting mad at her being. Yeah, I'm not getting mad at her being like, "Oh, what, you don't want to accept me? I waited
Yeah.
5 years for this." Like, I'm not doing all that. You know what I mean? So
That's
I'm
funny.
sorry. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna throw out the red challenge flag on that and call BS. I'm sorry, but I mean, but if it's true,
I
it's true.
believe
But
him. I really believe Julie. I do
I'll
believe
throw
him.
it out the
I'll tell you a
challenge flag.
story. No,
Okay,
look.
the chick that you know that you really are into and that you really see a future with and whatnot, but the problem she just says she rejects you as far as let's say she just found out that hey, you've had sex before, but she's a virgin, and you're just gonna be okay with that. I mean, I'm sorry, but
I'll tell you a story, and this is a true story.
okay.
So when I used to be a liberal, I still have some common sense. And one time I was dating this chick, and we were having sex. And then what happened was that in my mind, something told me, like, it's so weird. Like, something just told me I don't want to keep on having sex with this girl because I don't want our relationship to be just based on sex. Like, I want
Yeah.
to build on something more. So one day, me and her hung out. We had a couple of drinks. We came back to the house, and she slept on my bed. And I said, "Hey, you can sleep here." And I slept on the couch that night.
Wow,
I
that's
didn't
awesome.
want to have sex with her. Like, she thought I was weird because of that. But I told her the next day, I was like, I just don't want us to just only be having sex. Like, we should be able to kind of know each other more, because if we're just having sex, then we're just F buddies. And I didn't want that. Even in my liberal days, I just didn't want that. So I slept on the couch and she slept in my bed.
RESPCT.
I mean, you could just have a lot of sex and still like have a relationship as far as like because I mean, but just don't fixate your whole relationship around the concept of having sex. Like, just do other things with them. Like, go out and go take a trip with her. Go dancing. Go do adventurous other stuff with her. Right? Like, you can still have like a lot of sex and do that, but like just don't fixate your don't let sex in the relationship just consume you, bro. And I'll say this because I mean I've been in polyamorous relationships, and one thing about polyamorous relationships is like don't I mean, like don't fixate your relationship around just sex as far as like it being the deal breaker, because by definition it will never work. Just like fixated around it, like as far as doing other things, like
Yeah.
You
So
need to find an emotional and mental connection. You need to connect with somebody in the heart before you connect with somebody anywhere else.
yeah, like if you both like gaming or whatever, then hyper focus on playing video games. If you both like hiking, go hiking together a lot. Or
no, I totally get that. So real quick, I have a response, and I got it in the show. The show is usually 2 hours. This is what we do. We're trying to extend it eventually, maybe 3 hours, but we'll get into that. But I'll respond to this, to what you're saying, Omega, is that I understand what you're saying to do other things, and those other things actually does stimulate, the sexual romance. But the thing is this, is that when you're having premarital sex, if it doesn't work out, then you have now created a homemaker if she goes on to the next guy and then has sex with that dude, and you go on to the next girl. So to me, it's like it's not going to work moving forward because you're having premarital sex and not waiting until marriage. So now when you guys break up, there's no special experience with anybody else moving forward because you've already done everything in that relationship. So yeah, you can try to like go on hiking trip, go on fishing trip, wherever the case may be, to kind of, keep that sexual, tension. But at the same time, it's like, because you're not married and you're just having sex, whether you go on trips or not, it still comes down to the fact that you guys are just F buddies. And even when you do get married and have like sex, it's not gonna be nothing special because you done it so much before you even got married. Now, when you do get married, it might become boring. She may start to not find you attractive. You may start losing your sexual interest, and then it leads to cheating, infidelity, and things like that. That's why people should wait until marriage and not have sex before marriage. Jules, we can't hear you. You're on mute. Still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. Can anybody hear Jules? I can't hear.
No, I can't hear.
I can't hear either.
But you guys post your IG handle so we can all follow each other if we don't already. Because I don't follow some of the people on there.
Yeah, you guys can post it in the private chat. Jules, try exiting out and coming back real quick, and then I'm going to end it after that. Maybe that'll probably help if she like exits out and came back in. But yeah, that's
me personally. Oh, go ahead. I just feel like
go ahead.
I mean, after engaging in polyamory, I mean, the hurdles at first were hard because it's something that's I'm not used to. But like after engaging in polyamorous relationships, like it helped me to like see the woman as far as like not as much as a fuck box, but more of herself, because because of the experience that I've had with her. Like I would game with her, and I would watch movies. I would watch movies with her. I would go to clubs with her, and and if let's say she did have sex with another dude, and she's like, or even go on a date, whatever they do, it doesn't matter. But like that date just convinces her, hey, I'm gonna be exclusive with him. Guess what? We ended the relationship on good terms, and I even see her to this day, and we say what's up to each other. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, but doesn't that create some type of feeling when the fact that you could have been with this person, but now you're just saying what's up to them?
No, it doesn't, because the good experiences outside of sex outweigh just the sexual part.
Are you sure about that though?
Yeah, I'm me. Of course, I'm sure.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I don't know. I think there's something more solidarity when it comes to meeting that one person that you saved yourself for. I think because you want to make sure that you're getting with somebody that can take care of the family. So if I meet a woman, I would like her to be either a virgin or close to pure as possible, so that I know this is the woman who, and mind you, if a woman who's had sex with lots of dudes, it's hard to know whether or not she's going to take care of the children. A man who's had sex with lots of women, it's going to be hard to know if he's going to take care of the children or not. So does Gabby have 2 streams? Why is there 2 Gabbies?
Oh damn! Double the pleasure.
Okay, but that's the weird thing you mentioned that. Like you're tying in like
I don't know what happened.
You're turning this woman's sex game into her being a good mother. Like there's women out there with great sex games and they could be shitty mothers, and there's women with good sex game and could be good mothers at the same time. Like
what I'm saying is that it's the discipline, the fact that human beings, we discipline ourselves to not just give up our bodies to anybody. And again, if I meet a woman and she's very disciplined like that, I know that she's going to. Oh, Gabby said she got knocked off the stream, huh? Okay. Don't.
Oh,
That's
that's wild.
interesting. Yeah.
It shows that she's still on there.
Yeah, it's still showing that she's still here. That's very bizarre. Okay.
Maybe it's Gabby's ghost.
I don't know what's going on. I'll hopefully she can come back on before I end it. Yeah, here she is. Okay, let me just add that back real quick. Okay, so here's the last thing I'll say, and then I gotta end the stream. But
sorry, I got knocked the out.
no, it's all good. It's all good.
Damn it, Debo.
Here's what I'll say to that. I think that if she's disciplined, then and she's waited until marriage, that tells me that she's the woman who's worth raising my children, because she's not promiscuous. She doesn't have an agenda. She's straightforward, and I'd rather have that nurturing in the house than a woman that is just having sex with lots of men and gonna potentially might cheat on me, whatever the case may be. I wouldn't want that to be around my children. So that's why I think it's better to save yourself so that you have a great foundation versus having sex with everybody and then you destroy that foundation moving forward after you get married.
Very good. Very good, Julie. I just want to say it was an awesome time being here with you guys.
Yeah, so real quick, I'm gonna end the stream. So for those who are watching, I really do appreciate you guys. I think this was a fantastic episode.
It's great.
I'm glad. Last time we had people on, things got a little bit hectic, but I think this time around, this episode, last time was
just a
weird.
little bit.
No, last time was bizarre, but this time around, I think this was great. I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you guys. Duran, where can people find you at, and where can they follow you at? All that good stuff.
Yeah, hit me up on IG, Mr. Ward 91. That's MR.WARD 91.
Okay. You're also on TikTok too, right?
Yeah, same thing. TikTok, Mr. Ward 91.
Okay, and then Omega Magic, where can people find you at?
The best place will be on YouTube. My channel is called the Omega District. I'll post a link to that. I mean, as far as IG and TikTok, I mean, I do have those, but I'm rarely on them. So. And at the same time, for IG, I don't even have an account set for. I have a personal account more than an account tied to my YouTube channel. But yeah, best place to do that is find me. Go to my YouTube channel, whatnot. And,
you got IG? You said or no?
I do, but like it's a personal IG, not a channel.
I got
IG.
Okay.
That's tied to my channel. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Okay. I'm like Batman, but then on IG, I'm Bruce Wayne. Okay, put it that way.
Okay.
Nice.
I got you. I got you. Yeah. I'll put all the links down below. And then Gabby, where can the folks find you at?
At fearless_free 777.
Right
Fearless and free.
Okay. And
Great
Jules,
number.
where can everybody? Yeah. Where can everybody find you at, Jules?
Wonder Woman by day, Wonder Woman by night. No. Real Lady Jules, and I have it posted right here on IG.
Cool. All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Comment below what you guys think about today's topic. What do you think? Does a person's past matter? Comment below. We do read comments. Until then, you guys can follow us on all other social media platforms. Links are down below. And you guys can also support us if you want to support this channel moving forward. I was censored, so your support would be very appreciative. I was censored on my other page. It's all good. It's what it is. If you want to be a guest on this show, you can always email us or DM us on Instagram. And shout out to C3 Nick. He's on vacation.
Nick, we missed
He
you.
was in the chat earlier.
Nick, what's up?
Go follow him on Instagram, C3 Culture, and go look at his episode with Layla, Propaganda Fluent. They have a fantastic show. It's on Rumble. You guys gotta go check it out. So Nick, if you're watching, God bless you, man. Appreciate you.
Love you,
and
Nick.
be safe on your vacation. Till then, take care. Have a good
guys.
one.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Happy
Happy Labor Day, everybody. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, that
Happy
too.
Labor Day.
Have a good one.
See you guys.
What y'all doing? I want to get invited to a barbecue. No, I'm just kidding. Bye. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Take care.
I need some of that meat.
Have a good one.